got you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Come on. Let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Come on. Don't see, bro. Oh, God, you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Come on. Let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Come on. Don't see, bro. Oh, God, you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Come on. Let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. Come on. Don't see, bro. Oh, God, you are confused. The love is too much. 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 Come on. Let's go. For the island are black. Navy blue check. So ìdí nìyí tàbí òfin ọ̀fẹ́ tàkà wọ ọ̀dọ́ ká jáde fúnra ká fáìtì ẹ̀tọ́ wa ká béèrè ráìtì wa lọ́wọ́ àkókò yìí. So ìdí nìyí tí mo fi ń ṣe pé ẹni Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn náà jí ni gbé ni ó kò lórí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá.
Ìgangan báyìí ṣé ẹ lè sọ pé peace ti padà síbẹ̀ báyìí.
Àlàáfíà ti wà ní gẹ́gẹ́ àwọn ará gàngán ń confirm ẹ̀pá àlàáfíà ti wà. So kéde ẹ̀sìn bẹ́ẹ̀ nìkan mo sọ tẹ́lẹ̀ síwájú pé kì í ṣe ìgangan nìkan ni àjẹ kálá gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá pátápátá lápapọ̀ láti máa béèrè ẹ jẹ́ ká dúpẹ́ lọ gómìnà Ògùn State náà fúnra wọn náà sọ pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ wọ́n fi hàn pé àwọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn tí àwọn ń ṣèjọba lé lórí. Because tí gómìnà bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù tó ń ṣèjọba lé lórí Ògùn State kò ní gbà wá láyè pé káwá fèsì àwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin náà. So fúnra ìjọba ló sọ pé ó ti tó gẹ́ fáwọn Fúlàní ẹ̀sìn mẹ́rin torí pé àwọn tóun ń ṣèjọba lé lórí lẹ̀ ń pa. So ìdí nìyí tá fi wá sóògùn State lé ní.
Ṣé sábà pàdé ẹ ti ní gómìnà báyìí?
Mi ò tí ì rí wọn but èmi wò pé ibi tójú ìjà bá wà lọ ẹ̀ka kọ́kọ́ lọ tàbá lé àwọn Fúlàní tàbá lé tán a máa padà lọ bájọba láti kí wọn.
Àtẹwọ́.
a lọ sí yewa lánàá báyìí torí pé a rí pé ibẹ̀ gangan ni àwọn Fúlàní ajínigbé yìí ni wọ́n ti ń ṣe jàǹbá fáwọn ọmọ Ògùn State púpọ̀ jù tó ibẹ̀ gangan là ń lọ sí báyìí.
A gbọ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá wọ́n ń gbàgbọ́dé fún ṣóòtọ́ ni àbí ẹ rí support látọ̀gbọ́n Yorùbá.
Èmi ò tí ì rí Yorùbá kankan tí mo lè sọ kó gbàgbọ́dé ṣe ti understand because gbogbo Yorùbá ló dìde ìjà bá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ẹ lè rí pé àti mùsùlùmí àti Christian gbogbo ẹnìbọn ní ń jà kì í ṣe pé jà Ìgbòho nìkan gbogbo wa là ń jà gbogbo Yorùbá ló ń jà kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń gbé àbọ̀dẹ̀fẹ́ nìkan kan káde dúpẹ́ lọ́gbọ́ àwọn tó wà ní diaspora rí gbogbo ọ̀nà dìde tán so gbogbo àwọn ọba náà ti dìde gbogbo àwọn ọba ti dìde everybody ti dìde kò sí pé bóyá Ààrẹ Ọ̀nà Kakanfò náà dìde ó ń bínú so gbogbo àlà ń bínú papọ̀ kì í ṣe pé Yorùbá kan ń sábà bọ̀dẹ̀ so ìjà tá ń jà ìjà gbogbo Yorùbá ni ọ̀dẹ̀ ti dópin ẹ̀ náà kò sẹ́ náà.
They were saying that when they went to Japan, he nearly tripped or something. He was walking. It was a bit wobbly there. But, you know, we talk about institutions that work. He can sit in his room just like that, and everything will be working the way they're supposed to, because their institutions are robust enough. But what about ours? Okay, Bishop Adesina says a dropout secondary school student in Ekiti State, Yoruba land, southwest Nigeria, generate electricity powering a full house and gadget using 2 stones located beside the house. My goodness, how did he do that? That'll be interesting. I want pictures of it. That'll be great. That'll be great. So that we can promote that individual, and even, if possible, try to see whether we can get him to be interviewed by Mr. Olayomi Koiki. Let me see, give him some international exposure. Let's see what happens from there. He can do something. What about that? Well, this all coming away from Star Radio UK. In other stories, Russia battles armed group in border region. Now, yesterday there was that thing there. I was a bit scared. I was like, what is happening there? But more is going to be coming your way. UK reject calls to return Ethiopian prince's body. Well, why are they rejecting the call to do so? Why have they kept the Ethiopian prince's body? Okay. Moving on to the UK front proper. Now, police attacked in riots after teens killed in a crash. The link between the deaths and the disorder remains unclear, a police boss has said. Now, we're going to tell you more about that. Dominic Raab to stand down as MP at next election. And Madeleine McCann's police begin reservoir search. Divers enter the waters, which are about 30 miles from where the toddler went missing 16 years ago. Well, they want closure. So what about that? Prince Harry loses challenge to pay for security. Home Office says wealthy individuals should not be able to buy security from the police. Okay, so you can come and hire me. Yes, myself, Olayomi Koiki, Mr. Francis Gaye, and a few of us. We can get on, can't we? All right, then. We can protect him like no man's business. All right, then. Before we take a musical break and then get Mr. Olayomi Koiki to join in, Bishop Adesina says, poor talented boy, full with animals, treasure, and skills, but in a wrong country, who careless of him, despite in need of his productivity. Bishop, if you can get a picture of him, and then as I'm saying, I promise that one for sure. We'll try to see where we can get Olayomi Koiki to interview him. I can interview him on our the morning show, and then we can interview him on the Niger Voices as well, and we'll see how best we can be of help, so that something good can come out of him. We've got people who are so talented, but our system is such that it's like you know the story about Jesus saying the sower going around and just throwing the seedlings around. Now there are some of the soil is very good. You throw it there, and then the ground is nice and everything, and the whatever the seed, the plant begins to grow. But then there are these thorns that seem to be, and that is how our system, our governance system seems to be like, and it just holds you and pierces you and hold you down, and nothing good comes out of you. But if it's been able to do that, wow, can you just imagine, giving the proper environment, what it can do? My goodness. All right then. So it is Star Radio UK. We'll take a musical break. We come back and we'll be having Mr. Olayomi Koiki joining in. And this is from the one and only Eli J. And he says, Jesus, you never fail. Hallowed be your name. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't you go out.
Sorry for those of you who didn't get the audio at all earlier on. I hope everything is working because I don't know why we're getting double screen on the YouTube. I'm not too sure why. Big screen you are delayed. Let me see. Why is it not showing? Why is it showing that on the screen? I don't get it. Let it show proper screen. What's going on there? Something is not right somewhere. Let me see the Facebook. I'm doing a lonely magic. Something is not right. I don't know what is going on there. Alright, something is stopping the screen from showing. I don't know what is going on right there. So let's see. Let's use another one. There's about kind of something disturbing the screen. I don't know whether it's me. Let's see this one. Cover. I think this should work now. Yeah, I think that is working now. Yeah. But something is not right on the big screen. Okay, you can see. Right, it's better now. So we can call the studio now. We've lost 7 minutes already. Let's go. Sorry, guys. Let's shut this down. What's going on? Close. All right, sorry. All right, let's call Archie and let's do the program. The broadcast is about Africa and that's really something that you can really now that you can see. One have the opportunity to actually celebrate our time and do something about that. Why not? Do that. This one coming from Star already looking your Tuesday edition of the morning show. 8 minutes past 11 time. Now means that I've got the one and only, the white lion song. This show like beautiful things. So I'm saying good morning to you, Mr. How are you doing, sir? I'm doing very well. Good morning to you, Mr. Archie, and a very good morning to all our listeners and viewers from around the world. And welcome once again to the Star Radio UK network, the African and Caribbean radio station in London, as we prepare for the morning update from Nigeria. Okay. Hope you had a good night. Yes, I do. As you try to get 8 hours sleep, I think by the time you wake up, you are just ready to fire on all the cylinder. I went to bed just at about 2100 hours, and I believe that is the medical line that you must have that 8 hours, apart from maybe some kind of notification that could come through the phone. As long as it's not emergency, you can always just stop that notification. So I woke up just about 5 o'clock in the morning, and we believe that we've already done justice to some of the conversation, especially when it comes to Nigeria, because Nigeria is going through a new transition, and there's all eyes on Nigeria as we speak right now. which is exactly what we're going to be doing again this morning.
All right, so Nigeria this morning. So wherever you are, let your eyes also be on Star Radio Day, as we also bring you everything that you need to go. But Mr. Right, because again, I'm not planning to see this, I'm actually in the South Sudan, so we bring you after we are on the morning show. And let's go on straight. Well, Joe Biden's administration seems to have endorsed Tinubu now, because earlier on we had a what do you call it, making a call to Tinubu. That was last week. Yes, last week. And then we did talk about that, and because it seems to be that Tinubu's camp were waiting for that endorsement. Now, not only the endorsement, but the president has gone on to release a list of delegations that is coming to the inauguration.
You wonder why the president himself is not coming down to this powerful inauguration, because as long as they keep telling us that Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world, so you would expect Joe Biden to make the trip, but Joe Biden is facing a lot back in the U.S., especially with the debt in America. But apart from that, they've put up a very powerful delegation that will be attending the presidential inauguration that is coming up on the 29th of May, which is just 6 days. So we are now countdown. Mr. Biden has announced the designation of a presidential delegation to attend the inauguration of President-elect Bola Tinubu. So that gives that as much as we saw the call came through from Anthony J. Blinken last week, now the confirmation that America is not waiting for any petition outcome, they are going ahead, to fulfill what democracy means to them by allowing the inauguration that the Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari is putting together, because there is now what we call change of guard, which have already continued in Abuja. Who are those that will be attending? Mr. Joe Biden today announced this delegation. The Honorable Michelle Hood is the Secretary of the United States Department of the Housing and Urban Development, will lead this delegation. Members of the presidential delegation also have Mr. David Green, who is actually in charge of the U.S. Embassy in Abuja, the Honorable Sidney Kamala, the Dove, United States Representative, Democrat in California. Honorable Marisa Lago is the Undersecretary of Commerce of International Trade. Remember that the U.S. wants as many trade with Nigeria, and now that Tinubu is going to be taking over, that trade must continue as well. General Michael Langley is the commander of the U.S. African Command. I remember it was questioned surrounding the Americans' training in some countries that eventually had led to coup, like Guinea. The Honorable Enoch Tombong is the director of the United States Trade and Development Agency. Honorable Mary Kathleen, Assistant Secretary of the State for the Bureau of African Affairs, and Honorable Jude, Development Special Assistant to the President, and also the Senior Director for African Affairs and the National Security Council. And the last person is Honorable Mode Muyonga, is the Assistant Administrator for the Bureau of Africa. So you can tell that most U.S. Agency for International Development. So most of those that are coming down have got a link to Joe Biden when it comes to Africa.
Well, listen, it's quite an interesting delegation there, and that this endorsement actually make the tribunal case fall flat on the face. What do you think?
Well, the tribunal case itself since it has always been the nature of Nigeria, going to court. I mean, Buhari went to court a few times until 2015 when Jonathan did not, decide to allow any uproar. So Jonathan admitted, but this one, in terms of the petition, which is still ongoing, there is no outcome yet. Maybe when the outcome finally comes, maybe Joe Biden will send another delegation when the president will be changed to the new one, if that election petition goes against Bola Tinubu. But it shows that American is not waiting for that. But like I said, should that happen, then we might be having the history of Nigeria running two presidential inauguration, one on the May 29th, but definitely the other one is not going to happen on the May 29th. That is if only the election petition result changes. Joe Biden might probably have to pull those that are coming down and allow maybe a rerun, because rerun is not something new. Turkey is just going to be doing a rerun in the next couple of days because there was not a very clear outcome to their presidential election that occurred last week.
And a thing like this happened a few years back, where the tribunal or the Supreme Court ruled that the one of the election for some anomalies there. But let's see what happens. Like you're listening to us, I want you to put your comments there. Do you think that there is a need for the opposition parties, let's put it that way, or do Atiku and Petrobi to still pursue against the tribunal, and the tribunal they have just abandoned it because after the big weeks or weeks in the world have actually endorsed to put it up with the cabinet of this morning. Let us know about that. I think Dr. Olani Obanira, yes, that's what I talk to you as well. Hope you are doing very, very well. Okay. Now let's move on to some of the other stories making around this morning. And that pertains to the Naira. So that maybe having a list coming out from the United States of America and everything, that actually to actually endorse or bump up the Naira rate on the global market. So that a bit of surety that the big hands are actually endorsing them. And most of the time, look at the things that actually pushes the country's currency up. But it doesn't look to be that way. Fell by 0.11%.
Well, Naira continue to the value of the Naira, continue to drop. Not because of anything, is because the economy of Nigeria relies on little bit or no more of importation. And if you're importing the major aspect of what you're using in the country, if you rely on more on importation, that would literally mean that the economy would have a big impact, on Naira. Like I said, the pound sterling as of today is about almost 940 Naira to a pound. But what is the news saying, regarding, this issue of Naira? It seems that the headline again this morning says, the Naira begins on a flip side against the dollar. Emefiele, the central bank governor, was speaking yesterday at the inauguration of the Dangote refinery that took place with a lot of dignitary right there. And he was actually saying that Nigeria is going to be saving about almost 30 million, if not, $1 billion, regarding the new project that I believe $30 billion in terms of what we're going to be saving. But at the moment, when they talk about the parallel market, this is the exchange rate in the bank, but that does not mean that if you go into the Nigerian bank today and you need about $5,000, you'll be able to get that out. Naira on Monday depreciated against the dollar at the exchange rate of 463.50 Naira. Again, this is the official bank rate, but I can assure you that any Nigerian student coming to UK or traveling outside the country will not be able to get any dollar because you'll be told to go to the black market, which you will end up paying about almost 700 to 800 Naira, for the same, exchange rate at the investors and the exporters windows. What we then can say is that the local currency decreased by 0.11% as against 463 Naira. It exchanged for the dollar at the close of the business, on Monday. The Naira sold as low as 460 Naira to a dollar within the trade as well. A total of $106.84 million was actually traded at the official investors and exporter window. These are those that rely more on the dollar, for their businesses. Either you are bringing in pharmaceutical, materials into the country, or you are bringing in importation of goods. Then you would have to source for that huge amount. We're not talking about $5,000, $10,000 here. We're talking about businesses and investors that really need that dollar. Even the airline was stuck at some point because they couldn't move their money out of Nigeria. And we saw some of the airlines removing their services in Nigeria, which eventually led to where the CBN quickly injected money so that we can have this airline to continue to operate. Star Radio UK, I'll come back again to you in the studio.
Yes, listeners, Mr. OLAMILEKAN and not this was actually in the South Sudan, and you're bringing update from Nigeria. Interesting. So this morning, have you been to Mr. OLAMILEKAN and not this was actually in the South? Have you seen any changes in that, or is it a kind of been in place in the inflation and therefore go to bed, you wake up the next day, everything seems to be going up, or you go there in an hour and go back at the private of Gary, or everything seems to be skyrocketing. What do you think about all that? Let us be all right, then. Now let's move on to some other stories as well. Now, interestingly, the grandmother was killed by the military from being thrown from her property downstairs. And then one of the lines of died, but he had so much trouble with the military. Now, this gentleman who was what picture you can see
Seun Kuti.
there, Sean also had a banter with a police officer slapping the police officer, which will not according to the do so. Okay? Don't do that. But they are the ones they are supposed to be custodians of the law. If they put something else, we have to find another way of taking redress there. But I mean, why is it that the prosecution decided not to attend court, whether deliberately or they were late or something happened, and then the judge, instead of maybe saying that, okay, let's try to deal, let it go, and then we'll call him back or something, decided to adjourn the case. So to when?
Well, not too long. I mean, he will be returning back again to the court tomorrow, as the court has adjourned Seun Kuti trial to Wednesday tomorrow, the 24th. Like you said, the situation with Seun Kuti seems that the Nigerian police is trying to use him as a scapegoat so that another Nigerian will not attempt such. And even though, like you said, we do not condone that, from here. But the question again is, we've seen a lot, atrocity that the Nigerian police have committed. But Justice Adiola Olatubosu, that is the Chief Magistrate Court in Yaba in Lagos State, has reportedly adjourned the trial of the Afrobeat musician Seun Kuti to Wednesday, May 24th. The trial, which has been slated for today, was said to have been adjourned as a result of the judge absent from the court, according to the source that pled, not to be mentioned. The trial has now been adjourned. The question is that Seun Kuti was trying to get a bail, after the incident happened. It's going to almost a week now, if not a little bit more. But it seems the police want to keep him there for as much as possible until the trial kickstarts. I mean, he has been granted bail, to some sum of money, and then people that have property close to the court premises. But it seems, like I said, the judge is not there, so we can't blame the court. It seems that maybe the judge could be doing something else. We don't have that information. But what we can say is that, the police are now still going to wait for the final outcome of whether Seun Kuti will be found guilty or he will be asked to pay a kind of a fine, but that again will be confirmed tomorrow. But for now, Seun Kuti has been returned again back into the custody of the police in Lagos State.
Okay, so clarification from there. I didn't say the prosecution, not the prosecution. The chief magistrate has collaborated with the court. So the chief magistrate will not attend the court, and of course, it is his court, and therefore it is not there. And then much cannot be done about it. So, at times, people they like doing this legal gymnastics, or acrobatic, as some of my friends will say that they want to keep doing it there, so they can't let it end up, and they continue to keep it there. All right then. It is currently okay. It is the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Let's talk alive because we are not planning to see much in the South Sudan. I'm looking at special forces of the
Well, we know that the There's a cordial, good relationship between the US, the UK, the European Union, the African Union. But the report coming out this morning say the United Kingdom Special Forces have been operating secretly in Nigeria, according to the latest report. The British Special Air Service and European countries and other special forces have literally operated clandestinely in Nigeria and 18 other nations over the past 12 years, according to the research. It could be recalled that in 2012, a group of the SBS commandos attempted and failed to rescue a Briton and Italian that was held by the Islamic group in Nigeria. The British SAS also operates secretly in Algeria, Estonia, France, Oman, Iraq, Kenya, Libya, Mali, Cyprus, Pakistan, Somalia, Philippines, Russia, Syria, Ukraine, Yemen, and most recently in Sudan. This is coming actually from the news here in UK, by the mail. A UK special force provided non-combat support during the French military action against the jihadist group in Mali. They also trained the Nigerian, Moroccan, Cameroon soldiers and collected intelligent threat assessment in response to the increase. The elite military units don't have UK Minister publicity certifying their operations, thus they operate covertly, but based on the media leak, a research organization called Action on Gun Violence has now compiled a list of the operation from 2011, adding up to May 23rd, report the title as Britain's Special Forces on Service in at least 19 countries. It gives the impression that the Prime Minister and the Defense Secretary frequently send personnel of the SAS and the Special Boot Service and the Special Reconnaissance Regiment on dangerous operations, usually when Britain is not at war, according to the Guardian UK reporting this morning.
But it's interesting because it looks like the presidency, that is, or the federal government, didn't know that operation was right.
Well, not literally that they do know, because most of the time, if this is covered, the federal government might not even be aware that they are operating, or probably maybe one or two people is aware, but they probably keep that, as a secret.
Well, because I was looking at it and looking at all these people and the headsmen who cross the borders and come to the country and all that stuff, they said they don't know. I mean, they said that the borders are porous and double country. So if people who are very sophisticated, get on the ground, nobody will go. So what? Listen, let's start ready with it. Now, this one listener says Naira fell from 745 Naira to 760 within a week in the local market. As this appreciate Yoruba nation Yoruba looking ahead, knowing Yoruba uses dollar network. Okay, that's USDT PRC 20. It goes on to say Naira operates two different value. The national value is 450 Naira, local value is 760 Naira. It goes on to say that's why Nigeria CBN restricts Nigerian from annexing Visa card or MasterCard purchasing freely online. You can only use alternative bureau machine operating the local prices. Thank you very much for the job. Keep the comments coming.
And if you're buying on some of the, the big network like Alibaba, you cannot buy more than $20 from Nigeria.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
There's a restriction.
There's a restriction here. So that is a big problem for those that are trying to purchase goods worth up to $100. You have to buy them in bit by bit, which is different from what we do here, where you can easily spend up to £300 buying anything from Alibaba. But again, in Nigeria, is a different thing. So there is a dollar restriction, and it's having a big impact on the investors and those that are doing their small-scale businesses from outside. Because I do have a family friend that do a lot of shopping online from there, but every time she has to purchase, she cannot spend more than $20 at a go.
Well, listeners, it is already okay. That is so you see those of us here, the advantage that we have. Yeah? Good. This episode, listener says that corruption from highest order. Of course, of course. But it's the Tuesday edition of the morning show. Happy from Nigeria. Let's go back to Yomi for the rest of the story. Over to you, Yomi.
Well, as the operation for the inauguration is now on a full scale, it's also going to have a lot of security, especially as dignitaries will be traveling to Nigeria within the next 6 days. So the preparation continues. Inauguration. The SSS police have now asked to arrest Nigerians making insightful anti-Tinubu comments. This is actually coming just 6 days before the inauguration. No one can stop the inauguration of Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect, scheduled for May 29. Ade Omole, the director of the defunct diaspora director of the APC Presidential Campaign Council, has now asked security agency to arrest APC opponent for inciting public against President Tinubu. He's not yet even the president yet. It's just about 6 more days. And you can tell that the media, will be something that we will monitor, while Tinubu becomes the president. No one can stop it. We know that. But the APC director added, we are confident that security agency have the capacity to deal ruthlessly with any breach and therefore call on them to arrest such persons immediately. Nobody's asking for anybody to disturb the peace of the inauguration, but we know that during the campaign, the APC media campaign were trying to push one of the media in Nigeria to be arrested and even removed, because he was not of the same view with the APC. So that is coming from the headline this morning. Governors-elect protest as the outgoing governors shun transition panel. That is coming. We do know that some governors are going to be returning themselves back because they've won their second time, like the Lagos State and the Ogun State. But there are some governors that will be also leaving because, the development have either made them not to come back because of the 8 years, or some that have lost the post. There are now strong indication that the transition process is not going smoothly in many states, as the outgoing governors are allegedly not cooperating with their successors. Following the development, the panel set up by the incoming governors are asking questions on the financial conditions of the state, thus generating tension. Also, Akeredolu, the governor of Ondo State, is already crying out that the 1999 Constitution must now be looked into, or if not, power must be devolved to state, and likewise curb importation. That is coming from the Ondo State governor and likewise the governor forum for the Southwest. Akeredolu, 1999 Constitution, states have now been reduced to pathetic beggars. This was actually saying through one of his media aid at an event yesterday, celebrating the 59th Founders Day Anniversary Lecture Award and the endowment of Adeyemi Federal University. This is what he has to say. The governor, who spoke through his special advisor on the union matters and special duties, Mr. Dari, said there will be no end to the miseries of the people unless the basic law was tinkered with to reposition the country to prepare the production of goods and services. He also said a defected law cannot endanger peace and progress. It is more often than not the source of the seemable intractable crisis. There can be no development in a place where the law and its application are not straight line, also called squid, heavily against the majority of the people. When the law becomes an instrument of repression, society is in peril. So it shows that, as so many people have been talking about the 1999 military diktat, it seems now that some of the governors are likewise getting the message as well. At 11:34, we go straight and take more. Not a very good news coming again from the southeast part, Ebonyi State. Gunmen attack checkpoint and a police officer has been killed and 2 of them have been injured as well. Benue State residents have recovered 5 more corpses as the death tolls now hit 22 in what we call herdsmen assault. Benue State, just as Plateau State, continue to be one of those 2 states that are going through a lot when it comes to the assault and the activities of the elders in those states. The breakdown yesterday by the paper showed that 3 children, 2 women were killed and burnt in their houses, while 13 men and 4 soldiers were also killed. The death toll in the armed herdsmen attack on Iyeri village in Uvia Council Ward in Guma local government area of Benue State has now increased to 22. The breakdown on Tuesday showed that the 3 children, 2 women were killed and burnt in their houses. What a very sad situation as we continue to hope that the peace will reign. But the question is, how will peace reign when the danger is already surrounding every single one of us? We're going to take one more, then go straight to the social media to find out what is happening this morning as Nigerians are all gluing to continue to monitor the 6 days before the inauguration, or as we say, is anything going to change as the election petition continue in the country as well? Once again, this is Star Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. So when we go straight into the Twitter this morning to see what Nigerians are saying and the reaction so far, the Supreme Court is trending, and you can tell the reason why the Supreme Court is trending. And it's not just trending; it's trending at about almost 134,000 tweets so far this morning. It shows that Nigerians are still expecting a better outcome as well. Lawrence Okoro say on May 26th, Bola Tinubu will be disqualified over Shetima's double nomination by the Supreme Court. I'll be giving out this lovely car to one of my obedient followers. Wow. It seems that he's also guaranteed that he wants to give her the car if that is going to happen. Yesterday, again, the sad reality is that majority of the Nigerian people do not trust the judiciary anymore when it comes to the political cases. Supreme Court will forget that the judiciary is the last hope of a common man and give a flawed judgment from the Hope Uzodinma to Senator Lawan K. So it seems that already is a divided situation. David Odoye says, as revealed plans by Tinubu to make Buhari declare public holiday on Friday, May 26th, so as to stop the judgment by the Supreme Court. Well, we don't have information to that, but we're looking forward to see how that is going to happen. Omo Olodumare, Tinubu Chapo plans for Nigeria, what to expect in his presidency, I believe with another video that has been put together. Maybe we should listen to that as we take more from the social media. Once again, this is still Star Radio UK. It is the finest African and Caribbean radio station. So this video has been put together, and this is what the video soundtracks looks like. Well, we hope Tinubu will be able to recruit 50 million youth into the military, and then they'll be able to eat eba, gari, and cassava, as he said during his manifesto. And there's also many things that we're going to be monitoring as soon as it comes into the the realms of affairs, because manifesto is very, very important. Buhari did promise. He came in 2015: corruption, security, and rebranding the economy. He has woefully failed in the 8 years of his running affairs of Nigeria, and he's also saying now that the affairs will be continued by Tinubu because governance is continuity. Star Radio UK, I come again to you in the studio, Mr. Archie.
Yes, listeners, Mr. Live again and not plan this. We'll be going to the what you call it, media platform in a moment. But it's interesting there. Gary and everything, and some calling in Tinubu Chapo. Now you know Chapo is one of the drug lords. So people are trying to look on him that way. But Pastor Paul says, madman. He said, let's see. and it cassava carry okay. This one is what Tinubu. Okay, now you say first, you say it was so. I mean, putting his clergy hat on. Roy is a bishop. Putting his clergy hat on. It was so that Nigerians were crying for 4 years and that Tinubu's power reign. So he perceives that. So what are the pressures? What are we going to do to actually make sure that, like Joseph, when Pharaoh had a dream in the Bible, that Joseph went to interpret the dream, he told them what do people do now? So what people will only be able to do is keep managing the administration of the state and will not be able to improve anything. And it goes on to economically, people will be facing tension to pay previous government loans due for payment in full. The first man in office he is unprepared for. Finance Minister already said they have no money. Naira is only 2,000 naira dollar soon. So that means he's just saying that money will allow it. Now, what do you think about all that? Not coming away from Star Radio. But tell me, as a people and Joby, have they been invited to
Well, I haven't seen the invitation list, and I'm not too sure whether even if they're invited, they will accept such an invitation, because we do know that for them, they believe that the election has still not been conducted in the line of Nigeria Constitution, where some of them argue that the FCT is 25%. Tinubu did not get the 25%. But whether Tinubu will try to put a hand to say just let's move the country forward, we will have to wait and see. But we do know that Atiku and Peter Obi have not made that call yet. But Tinubu could be putting a good hand by saying, just come and witness at least the dignitary that will be coming, and let's see how this goes on in terms of change of power.
Okay, and as the American foreign, the Secretary of State and all those people, the delegation that is coming in, are they going to have a meeting with, but most of the time when it's happens like that, they can have a meeting with the opposition as well, so that it seems to be calming things down. Is there any news pertaining to that at all?
Well, we've seen that just after the election, the U.S. government, try as quickly as possible so that Nigeria probably doesn't go into flames, by calming things down and saying, let us go, through the process of court, rather than, going onto the street, and destabilize the democracy that is currently, in the process. And they were happy that at least the transition of democracy in Nigeria is still very stable as against other African countries where we've seen military coup that have occurred, and that have destabilized, the democracy. So the last thing America, the US, the West and the other African Union will want is, the destabilization of democracy in Nigeria, because it will have a ripple effect across the West Africa and further into the east part of Africa.
And that allusion that May 26th is the day that the court tribunal is going to do the ruling. How is that?
Well, there's always a lot of truth in any rumor, but sometimes it could just be a speculation. Regardless of whether Tinubu is inaugurated, and then if the court comes back and decide that he's not meant to be the one there, then he would have no other option than to vacate that office. I think what they're just probably to say is that they want to stop that before May 29. How all this is going to happen, with just 6 days, we would all have to wait and see. But in terms of the 26th, I can just say maybe it's just another rumor, or it could just be those that have the back inside information are probably pushing for that. But if Buhari goes ahead and then grant that day as a public holiday, then the truth will probably be behind what they've said already.
Well, let's see what is going to happen. Tony says, well, you know what? I will support you if he makes a Yoruba man director of customs for the first time in the history of the country. So, and Yoruba man has never had the top job when it comes to customs. You know what I mean? Is that true?
Well, not just custom. There's a lot of places that the Yorubas have not been given opportunity, to serve. Not just the Yorubas, also, the other ethnic groups as well. And these are the nepotism that have played, especially in the government of President Muhammadu Buhari. I'm trying to see if the engineer can give us the last video behind our camera saying where Buhari was dressing in his a very good outfit, I believe. He's winding down, as we know. Yes, Tinubu coming in will change a lot of things, in terms of the whether it's the security architect that we've seen, or probably maybe the custom. The Nigerian custom has been held, like a family affair, to the northern part of Nigeria. That is not going to happen, but that is subject to where Tinubu will believe, whether to continue with the person there or change it around. But again, as we say, that is President Muhammadu Buhari just at the back there doing the final, I believe he's doing the final work. I'm not too sure what he's doing yet, but you can tell, let's bring that a little bit. So that is the President Muhammadu Buhari there, with that beautiful final outfit as he's going through, a little bit of walking there. This was on his official Twitter yesterday, and I'm trying to figure out, because I know he was in Dangote refinery, but all they've said is President Fleet Review. Okay, is reviewing the President Fleet. And yes, the President Fleet as well, we've seen a lot of accident that has happened in there as well, and some losses as well. So that is President Buhari there, inspecting, some of the fleet. Whether Tinubu will be able to get rid of some of the fleet, because Buhari told us he was going to do that, but he never did. But he's now winding down finally. So yes, the information says Buhari was checking the fleet, as you can see there, in a full military wear.
Okay, listeners, we'll go back to Yomi for the rest of the story. But you know that this story is a very sad one. Let me just start with that one and then we go on. Nigeria loses 2,500 children daily from lack of skilled parents. Big one. Can you tell us about that?
Well, when we don't have, the first basic healthcare to look after, someone that is pregnant, because when you're pregnant, the very first stage of pregnancy is very, very important. And I believe this report was coming, even though I've missed where that report was, but I saw it from the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo this morning. The reason why a lot of Nigerians, die or children died is because of that first basic hospital that is not available, especially in the rural area. When we looked at, the one that we show at the time, these are the kind of healthcare facilities that is not up to standard that as many of our rural communities are managing. This is being put together by, one of the governors, FOLAYEMI, that just completed his tenure in Ekiti State. So that would literally mean that more Nigerians will die because of the lack of the good healthcare center. Because if parents can't get to the center and be taken care of, we're likely to lose more, innocent lives before they are born.
Okay, let's go on to the social media, please.
We take just 2 or 3 from the social media this morning. If I can show Kaduna has refinery, Port Harcourt has refinery, Warri has refinery. Dangote refinery is the first refinery in Yoruba land, which is a private refinery and the biggest in Africa. That should not end there. Ondo State must now build their own seaport. The railway project in Yoruba land must be connected to all the Yoruba region for security and economic improvement in our land. So that is coming from Ifakunsho. And as the Biafra continue to open more of their liaison offices, the Prime Minister government in exile, Biafra Republic government in exile, the South Korean liaison office registration has now been approved. And the last one is coming from Ogbeni Demola. All the victims of Hitler in the Second World War till today are still being compensated. Looted artifacts have been returned despite being victim of the most brutal Holocaust. It is only Africans they are told to forgive and move on.
And how true is that? Very, very true. When it comes to ours, talk about the trade and everything happening as well. You know, it's fun. It's hard. You like to do anything about it, but others are enjoying it. Where do we start? Where do we end? Thank you very much. Before you go.
Well, I'll leave you again, as Archie takes you to the rest of the segment till 1 p.m. But I'll be back again tomorrow for more updates from Nigeria as we are now capped down to the new government that is coming in place. Should all goes according to plan without any problem from the election tribunal that is going on. Have a very good morning, guys.
Good morning. All right, then, listeners, that has been the live recording. The time is just the hour of the time. We're going to take a music break, and once we come back, we continue.
Well, that is about that for now. A very good morning once again, afternoon rather, as we are now into the studio, back from studio, and we're gonna see how things going to play out within the next couple of days in Nigeria. It is called the countdown. The countdown to change of government, whether the government comes or not. 6 days, there'll be a lot of changes. But for now, maybe we should listen to this, then I'll come back later.
This is in-depth analysis.
There is no other section of the country that has contributed as much as northern Nigeria. Now, we can bring any area and debate it, and you find that the North paid more than paid its due. In political terms, this is what now the turbulence of the country politics. The North must not show its face as to who in the next election. The parties were warned that they might not choose northerners as presidential candidates because it is not the turn of the North to rule again after Buhari. Of course, you can look at it in various ways, legal or political. Certainly not legal. Our law books are very clear, the Constitution is very clear that I can stand the election 20 times and I can lose 20 times. But nothing should stop me from contesting the election if I want to. But then, when you look at it in terms of, well, do me, I do you. Rub my back and I rub yours. The North has rubbed more backs than is back being rubbed. Obasanjo couldn't get 10,000 votes in front of his house. I sat with him when he declared, and I told the journalist that spoke to him rudely most of the time. I said he will be president in Nigeria by the votes of northern Nigeria, and he did. Even there, well, we got paid back somehow. It wasn't appreciated as such. Who brought Jonathan? The North did. Who voted Abiola? The North did in my sitting room to defeat my younger brother, Tofa. All these are sacrifices being made by others. And even if you are talking about the years in power from 2010 to 1999 to date. But for the 8 years, Jonathan 6, 14, Umar 2, and now Buhari 8, 10. So I've been old even in the number, pure number of years, 4 years. 4 years, even on those terms. But the issue shouldn't have been we are not qualified to contest. We have no right to contest. Certainly, this is the reason why we are saying now that the issue in Nigerian political environment must be based on democratic tenets only. There will be no issue of reserving anything for anybody. If you win an election, you win on the basis of this thumbprint. If you win, we will accept. But if we win, there's no way we can deny us victory. No way. We will not accept that at all, and we'll be ready. So this is the point. Now, we are almost at the point when this election is over, and we have been in constant touch with our colleagues. We have, the Northern Elders Forum had remained committed to talk to other Nigerians on any matter at any time. And if there are differences, we should resolve it on the basis of discussion. But for us to be beginning to see threats that if this happens and we don't like it, we'll do something negative. So we are warning that the elections hopefully will be conducted free, fair, and credible. And anybody who wins the election must be accepted as the winner of the election without sentiment. And if there is any attempt to subvert it, then we'll be ready to also counter. No way. So, my dear friends and colleagues, the Northern Elders Forum or the Northern Assembly is meant for us to really look at ourselves and against the rights that is enshrined in our laws and constitution. We will not deny anyone the rights, and nobody will deny us our rights. Nobody. And those who are thinking along those lines, they should go and think again, because we shall not accept a situation where there is a fair, democratically conducted election and the winner emerges and will be denied on the basis that he comes from some section of this country, particularly our section of the country, will not agree. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry for my usual failure in this kind of gathering when I'm given an opportunity to talk. I've not even addressed, strictly speaking, my speech, but I picked the sense in it and talked about it. And I end again by thanking all of us for coming together to share our concerns about our home, the North, and for us to feel it, that without the base, the northern base, the Nigerian state will not have foundation without the northern base. So the North should be prepared to provide that base, and has always been prepared to provide the base And this is why we made all the sacrifices we have to make in the interest of this country, even though a lot of these sacrifices are not being appreciated by many. And then finally coming home, I want us to remember the good old days of the Sadana. The North are one people, irrespective of where you worship, or where you vote, where you associate, but remember the oneness, the togetherness, the fraternity that brought us, the history of this country has brought us together, and we succeeded the way we provided leadership over the years, and we have no apology to offer to anybody in terms of the role we have played for the benefit of this country. Thank you very much.
They drink, they fornicate, they do all the things that all human beings do. So it's not a question of religion. There's no question of anybody being truly a Muslim there. Even I knew a chief judge who was supposed to be leading Muslim prayers, who anytime he came to me in my official residence, would put brandy or whiskey in a mug and be drinking, and they would smoke and all that. So I don't think it's religion. When they started this Sharia, how many of them are obeying the Sharia? How many of them? No, not none of their leaders. So it's not religion per se, but they use religion to deceive people and say, Hausas were not Muslims at all. So they say, well, let's give you a superior religion, we'll give you Islam. But that didn't apply to the South, because we've had Muslims in Yoruba land even before 14th century.
So truly, what we are fighting against, or what is going on, is clash of culture.
And civilizations.
And civilizations.
That's right.
Not really the Fulani versus the Igbo, or the Fulani versus the Yoruba.
No.
It's clash of civilizations.
Yes, clash of civilizations and clash of cultures. Yes, you're right.
That means we have not really integrated as a people.
Never. We have never been.
So the word the Nigerian people is a fallacy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Because, again, in those days, you would say there have always been Igbo markets, Hausa markets in Enugu. There have always been Sabos in Shagamu. But those Sabos were occupied by Hausas. Hausas are peaceful people. We traded in Kola Nord. We did even the few Fulanis that came with them at that time, when you had a Sabo in Shagamu or in Ibadan here, they would still look for one Fulani man and make him their Seriki.
How did the Hausa accept?
They were subdued. They were subdued.
Despite their large number.
Yes, they were subdued. Of course, they killed, they ruined, they extirpated their 7 kingdoms. They killed their 7 rulers and took over under the guise of religion. Another thing they used the word corruption. Oh, your people are corrupt. We are saints. Your people are corrupt. They've always used the word corruption to deceive people.
But the jihad is over. How come the Hausa man is yet to claim that Hausaness again?
It's just now that the efforts we are making in the South have begun to yield fruits. You will be surprised to hear that now in Hausa land, we now have Hausa Christians. Never had that before. Never. You now have Middle Belt Forum that are saying we are not Northerners, we are Middle Belters. We are not Northerners. Don't call us Northerners. Now when you see a Jukum man or you see a Lantan man and you say you are Hausa or you are Fulani, he will be angry. He may even draw his dagger. Don't call me Fulani. I'm not Fulani. I'm not Hausa. What we did not know until recently is that when you call a Fulani man Hausa, he will be angry. He will say Banzani. Because he knows that I'm superior to Hausa. Can you say I'm Hausa? But before now, before Buhari came to establish his suzerainty over Nigeria, we lumped all of them together. We're Northerners. And like I wrote some 4 years ago, there's no North. There's no North that we used to know. The North is dead. There's nothing called North anymore.
So there's a Fulani now standing on his own.
It's standing on its own. There's no more North. If they try any war today, oh God of mercy, the kind of cohesion you had in the army, the military in 1966, will never happen again in this country, if there is a country at all. You will not find a Hausa soldier now, I mean, an Igbo soldier going to Enugu to kill a fellow Igbo. You will not even find an Igbo soldier coming to Ibadan to kill a Yoruba man, or a Yoruba soldier going to Enugu to kill an Igbo man. It will not happen again. So the Lantan people, the Benue people will never ever allow themselves to be used by any Fulani mischief maker.
So if I'm getting you right, your argument is that the Fulani hegemony has been broken.
Dead.
If the Fulani hegemony has been broken,
yes,
does it mean that the social structure of Nigeria is about to witness a very hard hit that will lead to a new Nigeria?
Yes, for those who agree with you to the extent of the fact that there are still some people who want a Nigeria, a group that I don't belong to. But for such people, yes, with the weakening of Fulani hegemony, there could be a Nigeria that will integrate the Suba Fulanis, the town Fulanis, and still reconstruct, rebuild, and then have a Nigeria that should be. But I, as a person, as Tola Adeni, believe that it will take probably 1,000 years to change the mindset of a Fulani person, whose philosophy is kill, maim, rape, send away people from their land and let me occupy it.
That is the bush Fulani.
It is the bush Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
Not the town Fulani.
And the town Fulani is more in number.
No! The town Fulani is less than 1%.
How do you get that figure?
Oh, go and find out. Let them allow a sense. One the town Fulani, they're very few, the ones who have in Abuja. Or the few that dot spaces in Sokoto. I'm sure that you know that Sokoto, as we speak, is not a Fulani town.
Is it not?
No, that's the mistake we make. Zamfara is not a Fulani town. There are more houses in Zamfara than Fulani. There are more houses in Kano than Fulani.
But the Fulani govern.
They are in town. They are in charge.
Yes, so it's their town.
Yes. By subterfuge, by cunning, by crookedness, by all sorts of gimmickry.
Or by integration.
Not integration, by intimidation. And I said they are politically savvy. What they did to the rest of Nigeria, where they realized that the Fulani in the military, they could no longer use the military to retain power indefinitely. Since they've had power, they had access to the treasury, they say, oh yes, Edmond is from the east, or wherever, brilliant man, he may likely oppose us and contest with us and rival us. Let's make him an ambassador. Let's give him an oil block. Let's make him a billionaire. We padlock his mouth. Let's get an Abiola, make him a billionaire. Let's get this, let's get that. And make them big. They will never be able to look us in the face. Then we can continue. Looting the treasury, we can continue. And once when we are in control of the treasury, we are in control of everywhere. So we can hire thugs, we can do whatever we would like. And that is why they introduced what I call plutocracy into Nigerian political etymology. Plutocracy.
Meaning?
Plutocracy is the government of the rich.
Yeah.
Oligarchy is the government of the muscle men.
Now we have faced such level of oppressiveness in our land, such level of frustration in our land, such level of suppression, where in one segment of the nation, blood will flow like water, killings and killers will arrive, level a whole village overnight. In some cases, they will own up that they are the ones who did it for the sake of whatever reasons they claim. Nobody is arrested, nobody is prosecuted, nothing happens, no consequence. in another part of the country, probably the southwest or south or southeast, some people come out for demonstration, and before you know it, people are leveled to the ground. People are arrested. All right? So there is one law for one part and one law for another part. That is the situation we have faced so far, the situation of injustice and inequality. Now, you look at the situation with appointments and positionings, and it will appear to you as if intelligent people don't exist in no other part of the country, apart from some parts of the country. We have a multi-ethnic country, we have a multilingual country, we have a multi-religious country with two dominant religious bodies in the nation. But if you look at sensitive positions, whether it's in the executive, in the judiciary, in the legislative, in the military or paramilitary, it appears as if there are no people in any other part of the country. Take a look at this. You have President Northwest Muslim, you have Senate President Northeast Muslim, you have INEC Chairperson Northwest Muslim, you have Speaker of the House of Representatives Southwest Muslim, you have Chief of Air Staff Northeast Muslim, Minister of Defense Muslim North, Chief of Army Staff Northeast Muslim, Inspector General of Police North Central Muslim, National Security Advisor Northeast Muslim, Director National Intelligence Agency Muslim North, Director General SSS Northwest Muslim, Comptroller General of Immigration Northwest Muslim, Comptroller General of Customs North Muslim, Comptroller General of Civil Defense Muslim North, Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration Prison Service Muslim North, Acting Chairman of the FCC Northeast Muslim, Chief Justice of the Federation Northeast Muslim, Code of Conduct Head Muslim Northeast, Managing Director of Post Authority Northwest Muslim, NIMASA North Muslim, NNPC Managing Director Northeast Muslim, Minister of Education Northeast Muslim, National Universities Commission Northwest Muslim, JAM Southwest Muslim, and so on and so forth. It can keep on going on and on. Someone has said that the top 20 positions in NNPC is occupied from the same region as well. What comes to mind is there is no intelligent person and no qualified person from any other part of the country. There is no intelligent Shekiri person, no intelligent Ijo person, no intelligent Birom person, no intelligent Magabo person, no intelligent Tif person, no intelligent Joma person, no intelligent Igala person, no intelligent Ibira person, no intelligent Ibibio person, no intelligent Anan person, no intelligent Efi person, no intelligent Ishan person, no intelligent Bini person, no intelligent person from no other part of the country that can be in any of those sensitive positions, except people from one region and one religion. And people are meant to be forced to exist in peace under that kind of upside down, highly nepotistic, clanistic situation. That is absolutely impossible. If it was a charm declared, if it was a mentality bankruptcy, mentality is returned, it's impossible. There can be no peace in such level of inequality, in such level of brazen effrontery, are taking a whole nation for granted. Nations of the world did not experience one over 100 of what Nigerians have experienced and scattered in pieces. Soviet Union is nowhere to be found. Yugoslavia was one country that scattered and splintered into 8 countries out of one country. Czechoslovakia splintered into 2. They didn't see 1 over 100 of what we've seen. Nations in the world that are white and not that are multi-ethnic did their best. The United Kingdom, even though it's a nation, has ethnic groups that took care of the ethnic groups and gave regional autonomy to the Scottish, to the Irish and the Welsh. Switzerland has 4 ethnic groups, and they make their presidencies sit to revolve around these 4 groups. What is the solution to the situation in our land today? If there must be peace, there must be equity, there must be fairness, there must be justice. People have clamored for restructuring. It is the devolution of power. Otherwise, there may be the dissolution of union. It happened in other places. And we pray and trust God that it doesn't happen in our nation. It's not time to play the ostrich and hide the head under. What is not confronted cannot be conquered. In medicine, we call something the debridement of wounds. You expose wounds in order to repair them. You clean them out in order to repair them. You make them bleed. Truth is what heals. And if truth is not spoken, healing doesn't happen. And it is time to tell the truth. People have been suppressed, subdued, subjugated, and treated, second-rated, as if they don't have sense and they don't have reasoning. And this nation is one of the most intelligent nations in the world. Our doctors, our professionals are the most intelligent around the nations of the world. Nigerians and Nigeria people have the highest rate of PhDs in America of any ethnic group apart from maybe Americans themselves. And it is time for us to sit up and say these things must be corrected and do the right thing, and we do the right thing on time so that Jehovah can hear us and answer our prayers. As for every protest going on, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Protests are encouraged to be very peaceful, very calm. No destruction of lives, no destruction of properties in any form. Let life not flow because there is abnormality in the land. And we believe that the Lord will help us. God bless you. And I know you will not remain the same. Share this link with your friends and let every one of us join forces together with God Almighty and let our land be healed and be saved. In Jesus' precious name. Amen.
In Jesus' precious name. Amen. A very good afternoon and welcome once again as the platform that speaks from the different angle, the platform that looks at things from different position. Amen. Àmín, àmín, àmín lórúkọ Jésù. Let's go straight into the conversation this afternoon. It's just coming up to 18 minutes past, and I guess we need to just, we love him too much, even though we have already listened to him at the beginning. But let's just, enjoy this. Then when I come back, we go straight into the conversation.
Ọmọ Yorùbá lápapọ̀ ilé tó kó ẹ̀mí àbọ̀ ẹ̀bá ń kọ́mọ Adéyẹmọ. Ṣí Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho orúkọ ńlá tí jámọ̀ láyà bí àrá orúkọ tó ń dẹ̀rù bó lórúkọ gan. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ má sùn torí pé bùrà akọ̀lé fojúkẹ́gbodò láyé títa ríro lẹ̀dá kọlà wúrà tó máa dán alànà kọjá dandan o. Ọmọ ẹ̀yìn ní má bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ̀nà ẹ̀dá kan lè ṣí wà lọ́nà mọ́ ẹjẹ́ láti mọ̀ṣọ́ kan ká lè débi re. Ẹ̀já jọ gbárùkù ti Sunday Ìgbòho ṣá ọmọ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ nílùú Alágbàdo Òde ọmọ atapẹ̀tẹ̀ wọnú omi ọmọ tètè wodò sànyà ìsànyà òrẹ́ràn bàbá yín láàrin ìdí omi kò sí náà kán sí yín lẹ́nu ọmọ òkúta mẹ́ta òkè Ìgbòho ìkan ṣe yín ní dápẹ́dàbọ̀ ìkan ní mọ́ rárá ìkan tó kù nígbà tí wọ́n mọ̀ Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ kí ló dé Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ sí ọmọ òpópó sánrán ìgbàgede Ìgbòho sùn wọn láláìsí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní kó ní bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó máa kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ lọ ẹ̀sìn òní bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho mọ̀rẹ́ bẹ́sìn gbà bímọ méjì ní Ìgbòho á fi kan pọpọ sí amúkan yòókù bọ̀ sànyà àtúmúyà rẹ̀ tí ò lọ́rọ̀ gbọ́ á fi ṣẹ̀rù wálé wàràmùjẹ ọmọ onílé ọ̀la àwọn àjòjì tó ń ṣe ṣègbéṣègbè tọ́láwọn òní bomi kó símú wọ́n láwọn òní bomi sànyà wẹ̀sẹ̀ ìgbà tójú kò rí kọ́ gbogbo wọn náà sáré bomi kó símú wọ́n sì bomi sànyà wẹ̀sẹ̀ ọmọ abẹ́rẹ́ mẹ́ta òde ayé ọ̀kan ṣẹ́ ọ̀kan tẹ̀ ọ̀kan tó kù ní gbogbo ayé ránṣọ kiri gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá Sunday Igboho onírẹ̀lẹ̀ láéláé torí àbá lásán nìkan ń dá òkúta òṣègbè fún wọn o ìmọ̀ràn lásán ni ti balùwẹ̀ kò bọ́ sí gbogbo dòdò láyé bí ó kún díẹ̀ tí tọ́ domi láéláé tọ́ mi lè domi Sunday Igboho arógun má ti ìdí tó ń jà fẹ́tọ̀ Yorùbá ní tilé tó kó.
Again. No going back. Igboho òòṣà iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ ń tẹ̀síwájú. Mr. Koiki ẹ ṣé o, àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Àwọn ọmọ mi ló ń kí yín o. Lágbára Ọlọ́run, a máa délẹ̀ lérí o lórúkọ Jésù. Yorùbá nation.
Mo kí gbogbo wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé a tún káàbọ̀ sí orí ètò ti ọ̀sán tí à ń bá lọ. In tá à ń bá bọ̀ látàárọ̀ náà ni a ṣe wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ nítorí pé in tó jẹ ọmọ Yorùbá lógún òun náà ni à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. Gbogbo tó bá dẹ̀ máa tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn náà ló yẹ ká máa sọ nítorí pé in tó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn náà la ṣe ń pariwo pé Nàìjíríà ò dáa. So bí a bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan a lè sọ fún gbogbo ìgbà tó máa fi yé wa dáadáa. Koikimedia live in the 23rd day of May 2023. Aago 12:00 òun ló ń lọ lù. Just as anybody is at work, I am also doing my best from the comfort of my London base. A lot of people say, kí ló dé tá a padà wá sílé tó jẹ́ pé ìta ni a ti ń sọ pé a fẹ́ pín Nàìjíríà. Mo ní nígbà tó máa pín náà tó máa da Nàìjíríà náà papọ̀. Mo rò pé Queen Elizabeth I àbí whoever was the king, whether King Henry V or whoever was there, I'm not sure pé wọ́n wá sí Nàìjíríà àbí wọ́n wá sí territory yẹn kó tó di pé wọ́n pè ní Nàìjíríà. So táwa náà bá wà níta tá a ní a máa pín Nàìjíríà. It's almost the same thing tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 1913 because àwọn tó pín Nàìjíríà tó fi di pé gbogbo à ń pariwo léèní pé kò tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. They were not in Nigeria. They only had akọ̀ pé Lugard. Kò sí nǹkan kan tí Lugard lè ṣe tí Lugard ò bá gba àṣẹ lọ́wọ́ ọba ìjọ náà lọ́hùn. Ọba tó jẹ́ ọba ìjọ náà lọ́hùn ló fi àṣẹ sí government UK because the monarch controls the country. The prime minister is under the monarch, is under the king. Queen ló wà ńbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ nísìn, ló wà ńbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, but nígbà tí queen ti kú. So ẹ̀yin tẹ́ máa ń bring out this argument kò make any sense. Ibikíbi tí yàn bá wà náà ló ti lè dá in tó lè fi jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa wò pé ṣé n tí mò ń sọ ṣó make sense? Ṣé n tí à ń sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣó make ṣe rí pé ó ti ń make sense? Nítorí pé Akeredolu ti ń gbóhùn síta. And we've always known him as somebody that is there talking. Maybe we will see more of Akeredolu talking than when Buhari was there. It's going to be a lot of different game ló fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ nísìn within the next 6 days. Because number one, Akeredolu mọ̀ pé Yorùbá lẹni tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀. Yàtọ̀ sí Gàmbàrí tó wà ńbẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ tá à ń pè ní Gàmbàrí Fúlàní. Because when Buhari was there, àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ kan tí Akeredolu fẹ́ gbé, Garba Shehu sọ fún pé no, ò lè gbé wẹ̀. Are they going to restrict Akeredolu if he decide as the government is about to change over and try to do things to lè save Ondo State and probably maybe the Southwest? Because Akeredolu bí a ti ṣe mọ̀ pé as much as we know that our politicians they are not really saying a lot lórí right to self-determination as we want them to. Akeredolu is a very, very intelligent man. I think from what I'm heard, he's a lawyer, right? I'm a lawyer ni àbí. So gbogbo ariwo tèmi ń pa níbí báyìí, ìta Akeredolu ti kọjá nígbà tó ń ṣe yunifásitì. Gbogbo Nàìjíríà ò dá kíní gbogbo ẹ̀ ló mọ̀. They are all intelligent, highly intelligent, extremely intelligent. But problem tó kàn ní ni pé tó bá lọ ń sọ táwa fẹ́, ó máa ba ìrìn àjò Tinubu jẹ́. Mo fi tẹlẹ́dùmarè àtúnfi bẹ̀rẹ̀, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá wa tí ẹ jókòó pé ibi tí Yorùbá wà lénìí kò dáa rárá. Àmọ́ àwọn kan ní ibi tá wà pé kí ló ṣe? Kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe náà. So kí la wá ń sọ pé a fẹ́ kúrò fún? Àwọn yẹn ibi tí làákàyè wọn mọ̀dé nìyẹn. Wọ́n dẹ̀ níbi tí làákàyè èèyàn bá mọ̀dé, ibẹ̀ náà ló máa rí. Àwa tá à ń pariwo yìí náà, ìta àrí náà ní lára tá à ń rí náà òun lélẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ jẹlé ìsára náà.
KOKIMEDIA, bringing the world closer to your doorsteps.
As the man sọ sórí báwọn èèyàn onígbà tó máa ń busy onígbà tí kò kí ń busy ó ti lọ nìyẹn. The next one ìyẹn máa dé ní 1 minute. So bàbá ń sọ fún yín pé Yorùbá nation ló lè ṣe àmọ̀tán sọ ni ṣòrélé náà lè sìn. KOKIMEDIA bringing the world closer to your doorstep. Èyí ní 23rd of August 2022 ṣòrélé náà ó ti ready láti depart sórí kọ̀mpútà ni ó máa tilẹ̀kùn ó dà pé sẹ́ńsọ̀ pé yàn kan tó fẹ́ wọlé ilẹ̀kùn yẹn máa tì nísìn. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún yín sórí the next one tó máa dé ó máa dé ní 1 minute. Èyí náà ti kiri èyí náà ti lọ. So má jẹ́ kí yàn kan parọ́ fún ẹ pé Yorùbá nation is possible. Láti bá Yorùbá dé.
Parọ́ fún ẹ pé ìta à ń sọ yìí pé kò lè wáyé. Èyí tó ń pariwo pé ó fẹ́ pín ìlú tó possible pé káwọn kọ́kọ́ dìde kọ́ láwọn fẹ́ pín ìlú. Àwa kọ́ la máa kọ́kọ́ pín ìlú. Tá a bá pín ní ti sùúrù, a pín ní tìjà. Ọ̀nà méjì náà lọ fi ń pín ìlú. Tó bá ti di pé diplomacy bá ti fail, ìbọn máa jáde sí títì. Ìyẹn ọ̀dẹ̀ ń ṣe Newton. Tó bá lọ wo Sudan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn, there is a ceasefire for 1 week. Ìyẹn ò mí pé wọ́n ti jà tán. Wọ́n gbọ́dọ̀ jọ tẹ́ra wọn lọ́rùn ní tó olúkálukú bá fẹ́. Àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ ní ìbọn tá fẹ́ fi jà. Àmọ́ ìtaní ni pé ẹnu tá fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, à á fi enlighten yín tá máa fi ṣe tán pè ní civil disobedience. Nínú civil disobedience ní protest máa jáde. Bí ti ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ yìí, when we shut down the airport for 1 week, or there is a diversion for 24 hours, àwọn àgbáyé máa bi wá pé kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ gangan, kí la fẹ́? But fún wọn tó ń wò mí tó dàbí ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé ọ̀bọ ìwò lọ wáṣẹ́ jẹ ìdarí ọ̀rà pò níṣẹ́ ó mọ̀ pé mo níṣẹ́ náà ni. ìyẹn náà torí pé mò ń níṣẹ́ náà mo ṣe ń ṣe lé torí pé tí bá níṣẹ́ mò ní máa ṣe tí mò ń ṣe torí wọ́n tó jókòó tó jẹ́ pé bó ṣe máa tètè connect mọ́ wọn l'Ábùjá ìwọ náà fẹ́ gba contract ẹlòmíì ti ra tíkẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ nísìn kódà ẹlòmíì fẹ́ relocate s'Ábùjá báyìí nítorí pé ó mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ló wà níbẹ̀ at least ẹ ní a bit of power there which is going to be true agbára díẹ̀ máa wà náà agbára ẹni Tinubu fẹ́ lò àmọ́ Akeredolu máa jẹ́ one of his big problem nítorí pé Akeredolu ó ń sọ àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ irú àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ wo ló ń sọ tá bá ní ká wo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá lénìí àfi tá bá fẹ́ parọ́ Ondo state ṣì wà lára àwọn state tó sọ pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ yìí ò dáa ẹ ṣe jẹ́ a dá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sílẹ̀ ká kóbọn lé wọn lọ́wọ́ ẹ rántí pé nígbà tó fẹ́ kóbọn lé wọn lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí Garba Shehu sọ fún Garba Shehu sọ pé no kò ní right under the 1999 constitution mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ń take note platform yìí bó o bá ní pen and paper tó bá jókòó fún 3 hours you are wasting your time o gbọ́dọ̀ ní pen àbí kò ní pencil torí pé àwọn ọ̀rọ̀ kan wà wàá fẹ́ lọ verify pé ṣé tòótọ́ ni tọ́mọ yìí sọ àbí rọ́ mo sọ fún ẹ pé níbí báyìí we are dealing with reality là ń dì pẹ̀lú èèwà ń ṣe reality big brother sórí big brother ni wọ́n ń kọ́ mú síta gbogbo yẹn wọ́n fi ń deceive yín ni àwọn tó ń kọ́ mú síta ara tó ti sọ fún wọn nìyẹn pé n tí ṣó yìí fi lè dùn ni pé ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ ṣáà gbé ọmú síta but àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀ gbé ọmú síta níbí báyìí but n ta fi ń wọ̀nyí ta fi ń ṣe àpèjúwe ọ̀rọ̀ tí ẹ fi ń sọ pé Kóìkì máa reduce òyìnbó tó ń sọ díẹ̀díẹ̀ ṣe rí i pé mo ti ń gbìyànjú ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ nítorí pé mo fẹ́ kí ẹ máa gbọ́n tá à ń sọ ní gbogbo abà ní gbogbo abúlé kí la Akérédolú ń sọ kí ló ń dùn lọ́kàn torí pé nǹkan kan á máa dùn yàn kan lọ́kàn ó ń pariwo pé 1999 constitution yìí constitution tá à ń wò yìí kò likely pé tá bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí lò ó wọ́n ti ń lò tẹ́lẹ̀ but òun wá ń sọ pé bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ yìí kò dáa rárá èmi wá ń bi Akérédolú mo ń bi léèrè pé ǹjẹ́ ntẹ́mi ti ń pariwo látọdún méjì àbí tí wọ́n ti ń pariwo láti ìjọ kan nítorí pé kò ń ṣe rọ́ọ̀wá la máa kọ́kọ́ pariwo àti rí àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó jẹ́ senior advocate of Nigeria tí wọ́n ti sọ pé 1999 constitution yìí ó jẹ́ ká ti jẹ́tí sílẹ̀ ó yẹ ká ti jùlù ó yẹ kó ti wọgbó nítorí pé is a military dictator. in tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ti jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé military ló mú wá kí la wá jókòó lé bígbà tó yẹ pé àwa láàní àmọ́ nítorí pé irú bàbá burúkú Ọbásanjọ́ àtàwọn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ àwọn ò rí foresight pé ariwo pé 1999 constitution yẹn kò ṣiṣẹ́ ṣẹ́rù Ọbásanjọ́ tó di president mọ́ wọn lórí tó ń jẹ mùdùnù tó ń jẹ mọ̀kẹ̀lẹ̀ ṣe rí pé Ọbásanjọ́ kò ní sàn kankan ìdí tá a ṣe sọ fẹ́yìn tí ó kù ni pé torí wọ́n tí o ṣe ń sọ pé Kóìkì má tan rẹ Nàìjíríà ò lè pín èmi náà bẹ ágíù sórí n tó máa pín Nàìjíríà òun ló ń lọ lọ́nkàn yẹn ẹ má bínú pé broadcast yẹn ó ń dàbí pé ó ń start a little bit it's because there's a lot that is running parallel and because on show ready coming. So maybe I should drop the Twitter from here. Maybe that will, maybe I should remove this from the Wi-Fi. I don't know. Sometimes it's like, especially in Tobati Dawosu, there's a lot of pressure on the. So let me remove this one from the Wi-Fi. At least I can run it with my data. So yeah, make the pressure I could reduce a little bit. And I think that's the only thing that is running apart from gadget and motor loke. Because our gadgets they are running parallel to whether they are using it or not. So that's where the problem is. And because it's afternoon, afternoon is the peak time. And we're only using what we can afford. If I can afford more, maybe I would have asked them to upgrade my internet, but nígbà tí bá upgrade ẹ̀ tí mo wá sígbà tí mo ní kẹ́ fún wa lówó tẹ́ ní ẹ̀lówó tẹ́ fi fún wa mú kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin GR1 ẹ kú àdúrótì. It's still a little bit on red. that means the broadcast is still struggling a little bit. Let me see, make sure that I don't know. Okay, let me close some of what we have spoken. There's a lot of things happening. Let me post this one. Let's close this. Let me drop some of the frames so that way we are not struggling. Okay, this one is okay like this. Bàbá yìí ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ látàn kan ṣá níṣòro bàbá yìí ti fẹ́ kó sọ̀rọ̀. Èyí náà máa láǹfààní àti pé máa tètè ṣe phone line láti aago kan so that kí ẹ lè láǹfààní àti dá sí agbami ètò tó ń lọ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí. So let's see. Ó ṣì red. Ó ń lọ between orange and red. So let me go and disconnect certain thing upstairs. Happy birthday, Babawa Michael Idowu, pẹ̀lú gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ ń ṣe birthday in the month of May, including myself. Ọmọ May lèmi náà. Ọlọ́run kó wà pẹ̀lú wa. For me, 1 minute. Let's see if we can. I don't know what I'm going to adjust, but I'm just going to go upstairs and disconnect some of the Wi-Fi down below the iPad. Maybe it will make any difference. No whatever.
Which is it for you, Dr. Badaya? Do you think the government is unwilling or unable to protect the people of Southern Kaduna?
In fact, it is not only unable, it is unwilling, and we have good reason to feel that they are part and parcel of the killers. Let me make some revelations.
That's a very big allegation, Dr. Obadiah. The government is part and parcel of the killers. That's big.
Yes. Okay. How will the government just say, oh, it is revenge killing and so on? Then you leave it there. Oh, because it is revenge killing and so on and so forth. The body language of this administration, the body language of the state government shows clearly that they have a hand in the killings. No doubt. Because you see, General Abacha, and people don't give him his due. Do you think that tolerates such nonsense? And let me make some revelations, because some of us also have our own intelligence networks.
Okay.
Have met with some of the bandits. We have met with some of their high commanders. One or two who have repented. They have sat down with us, not once, not twice. They told us that one of the northern governors is the commander of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Boko Haram and the bandits are one and the same thing. They have a sophisticated network. During this lockdown, their planes were moving up and down as though there was no lockdown. Moving ammunitions, moving logistics, moving money, and distributing them in different parts of the country. They are already in the south, in the rainforests of the south. They are everywhere. They told us that when they finish these rural killings, they will move to phase 2. The phase 2 is they will go into the urban cities, going from house to house, killing prominent people. I can tell you, this is the game plan. By 2022, they want to start a civil war in Nigeria.
So I've taken down a few things that are running on the internet, and we hope, hopefully it will manage itself. If otherwise, about our manager, like I said, is going in between the 3 layers of stressed. So it's going from green back to orange, back to green. Hopefully, like I said, it could just be doing some work around my area. This is still a live transmission. My name is OLAMILEKAN. It's a Tuesday broadcast. This broadcast is already run 2 hours. So that means it's just 1 hour left. It's not going to be more than 3 hours, I can assure you, because we've spent 1 hour with the Star Radio UK, and then we've spent, I believe, an hour before that. Yeah. Akeredolu on pariwo nísìn pé the 1999 Constitution is not in their favor. Kí ló dé tí Akeredolu ṣe fi ohùn sílẹ̀ nísìn? It's just the same thing. Táwa náà ti ń sọ bọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé if Nigeria is going to survive, it will not survive with the fraudulent 1999 Constitution. That Constitution must be jettisoned. That Constitution must be removed. But as many Nigerians will probably say, no, ẹ jẹ́ ká keep the Constitution here. Even knowing fully well that that Constitution is one of our major problems. And apart from the Constitution, we also know that the country itself, has been marginalized. But now that why am I seeing this? I was having that same problem earlier. Something is not right. Okay. The background will be better. Sometimes technology. Ẹ pé wà tá a tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ program lọ́sàn-án ẹ̀. Mo rí nǹkan lẹ́yìn àwọn pé kí ni mo rí? But apparently it was because there's two browsers. Google Chrome la máa fi ń pick nǹkan báyìí. But lẹ́ẹ̀kan in tó ń pick ti Microsoft ni. So ó ń confuse me a little bit now. Mo ṣe wá realize pé mi ni mo highlight it tí mo fẹ́ pick. So I use OBS for my streaming. It's free, but there's some things I paid for, especially background here. I fẹ́ show certain things. So I pay a little bit of money, not too much, just under $10. But the software itself is free. But if you're going to use it, you need also a very good laptop to be able to use it. And command use StreamYard. I don't use StreamYard. I don't know about how to use it. XSplit ni mo lò tẹ́lẹ̀. Nígbà tó dẹ̀ fi máa fún mi ní headache. I stopped láti máa lo XSplit. A dẹ̀ ti ń lo OBS láti ìjọ́ mẹ́ta nísìnyí. At least ó ṣàn ṣe bó ṣe yẹ kó ṣe. In the little time kó ṣe, which is the most important thing. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan ṣe ṣe ìyàwó Grace Olúṣọ̀tọ̀ and the rest of those Pastor Mo, Jack Olúṣọlá àti gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti wọlé. Ẹ má wà tired pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá à ń sọ back to back. Tí wọ́n bá ti gbọ́ tẹ́lẹ̀, the rest assured pé ẹlòmíì gbígbọ́ tó gbọ́ kò yé. Ó dẹ̀ di dandan pé tó bá ń wo BBC News àbáwọn other news network, ìgbà míì ó máa dàbí pé nǹkan tó ń sọ wà repetitive, but wàá rí pé àgbékalẹ̀ ó máa kọ̀ yàtọ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Yes, it's the same person that spoke in the morning, it's the same person that is speaking today, but ìdí ni pé because we are not going to have your network in Nigeria to give you the breakdown and understanding of what we are saying. Like I said, I plan to open the phone line. I've done more of the talking in the morning. So maybe there might be one or two people that want to add their input. Then I can just, go and have a bit of rest. Because like I said, I woke up after a good 8 hours sleep at about 5 a.m. this morning. So let's start with this, our senator. Well, I believe he's a former senator. He's no longer a senator. Adeyeye. So they feel like Baba Olowo.
It's the credo of our republic. It says unity and faith.
Irun bọ̀ bàbá yẹn tó fẹ́ dàbí irun bọ̀ tèmi náà tó ti ń funfun báyìí. Kọ́lọ̀ kó ṣàánú.
Peace and progress. The truth is, whatever a man sows, the same he will reap. And that goes for a family, that goes for a tribe, that goes for a nation, and that goes for a multinational republic such as Nigeria. When a nation or republic cannot keep faith with justice
and with the truth, it will never achieve unity. It will never achieve peace. And it will never achieve progress. Mr. President, sir, one of us quoted from this Constitution
and went ahead to make prescription for how to move forward.
Today, that this is the problem. This constitution can never give us progress. This constitution can never give us peace. This constitution can never give us unity. And unfortunately, most of us in this National Assembly, we don't have the spine to face what we need to keep this republic to have peace and progress. What do I mean? This constitution has 68 items. 68 on the exclusive list. This constitution has only 12 on the concurrent list. And those 12 are written so nebulously, so fraudulently, that you know that the intention is to even undermine those concurrent lists. That is why those who want unity and peace in Nigeria must first remember that the name of our republic is not just Nigeria. The formal name of this republic is Federal Republic of Nigeria. Unfortunately, we don't run a federalist system in Nigeria. Otherwise, what is so unique about all those things that are in the exclusive list? We used to have a parliamentary system, and then we wanted unity, we wanted peace, we wanted progress, and we therefore said we are going to go with a presidential system. Honestly, there are many presidential systems in the world that have peace and progress. I can't quarrel with that. But we must put in place the same safeguards that presidential system across the world put in place.
Shegon Babawa, Senator Adeyeye. Thank you so much. I can see the comment coming through. Mr. Moses Olanirani. All these people have eaten up our money and become too big, and looking at them in the house and Ahmed Lawan, Odolegbe Babayo, they've all been there for a very long time and they don't have any plan to go. Mukim Babawa Joseph, I like it. Sorry, what about Eyo Baba Sawa tó fi góòlù ṣeré. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí sàlẹ̀ kó expectation yín lórí Tinubu kò ní já sásán, má worry. Gbogbo àjọwà náà ni tó bá yá ẹ̀yin lẹ máa pè mí pé Koiki ọmọ ọba ń sáré sọ̀rọ̀ yìí síta torí pé ó dà pé Tinubu ó dà pé ó ti ń fa yányá. Kó àwọn tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ mọ̀ pé èèyàn ò fẹ́ gbójú síta. Àyà yín máa já kí Tinubu máa wà very tough lórí communication. Bàbá ti gbọ́n tẹ sọ látẹ̀ǹkan ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ jẹ́ ká wá síbi tí a fẹ́ lò gangan. Akeredolu akẹ́tì mo máa ń wá picture mi tí Akeredolu ẹ bá mi send ẹ̀ padà ẹ̀yin bákẹ́ǹtì ẹ ti send ẹ̀ sí mi rí ẹjọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ bá mi rí forward ẹ̀ padà. Mo sọ fún yín pé mo meet Akeredolu èèyàn dáadáa ni mo kàn jẹ lára ẹ̀ ni tó bá yẹ kí mo jẹ lára ẹ̀ ni wàláhì gbogbo ìjókòó mi báyìí nísìnyí ẹ̀yin bá ti máa ní Koiki shut up gbogbo jẹ́ lára Akeredolu bó jẹ́ lára ẹ̀ o but at least mo láǹfààní àti èmi mo ṣe mistake ẹ bá ti send ẹ̀ nísìnyí máa edit ẹ̀ máa forúkọ sí ọmọ mọ̀ pé send ẹ̀ sí mi rí ẹ bá mi resend ẹ̀ wá káwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ lójú èmi àti bàbá Àkẹ́tì ikùn ẹ̀ bí ikùn bẹ̀rẹ̀ ó ti jò gan nísìnyí ọlọ́ba ń fún lálàáfíà ara òun máa bá Tinubu fantó tán lẹ̀ sí Yorùbá ẹ̀ńtẹ̀ wọ̀ yìí kọ́lọ̀ fún lálàáfíà dáadáa. Akeredolu will be different, I can assure us, because ó ti fi ẹṣẹ́ gan ni gbogbo ẹni tí ẹ̀dẹ̀ ń support wa lọ́tún lọ́sì tẹ́ ní Koiki máa bá ṣẹ́ ẹ lọ. Ilé tó ń ṣe yìí ó ti jí lágo 5 ó ti sọ̀rọ̀ ó tún sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn no tó bá lọ ṣiṣẹ́ náà ó gbọ́dọ̀ sanwó fún ẹ̀ náà. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí. Mo sọ pé a máa wá fún ìrànlọ́wọ́ but nítorí pé iṣẹ́ ta gbé dání ìyẹn ló ṣe paramount ìyẹn wàá mí pé ìrànlọ́wọ́ ta fẹ́ yẹn náà kò wà paramount bí ṣe sọ ó wà very very urgent but ẹni tí Ọlọ́run bá ní yes Koiki whatever it is I will do my own little bit ẹ tó bá dẹ̀ ní òun ò ní òun àfàdúrà rẹ kódà grandma kan send imagine ní Nàìjíríà grandma yẹn Nàìjíríà ló wà send 5,000 naira sí mi kọ́nà bá ń bò wọ́n láṣìírí tó pọ̀ nínú owó tó sì máa ní grandma ẹ má wọrí ara yín wọ́n ní ìwọ èmi tí mo ti mú account number lórí system ẹ bó ṣe ń san nìyẹn so what more do you want me to say so nígbà mi tí ìwọ bá rò pé ó rẹ̀ mí ó lè rẹ̀ mí ó ń ṣe pé torí owó yẹn and ẹ bá ń send picture mi àtàkérédolú wọlé ẹ bá ń send ẹ wá quickly wọn bí abákẹ́ntì mi wọ́n gbọ́n tí mò ń sọ. Akeredolu Aketi mo láǹfààní àti pàdé ẹ̀ ní 2018 nǹkan kan ló gbé mi lọ sí Ondo àpèbẹ̀ ní Ondo Auto Rally ẹ̀gbọ́n mi kan náà ló ṣe program yẹn wáyé pé mo ti mọ̀ kí n rọra jókòó pẹ̀lú Ondo Auto Rally kébì náà ní Akeredolu fún mi ní kankan kó tó bá pa Akeredolu ti fún mi ní kankan nísìnyí a máa Koiki adẹ̀fún ẹ lówó náà nígbà tó wá sí Ondo State kò wá jẹ́ pé rúwọ́ ló máa fi wá pa lórí social media kódà inú mi máa ń dùn tí bá ń fi wọ́n pa báyìí torí pé mo dúpẹ́ mo rí bàbá wa Elizade Motors wọ́n á pé interview kan tí mo ṣe nílé ó kọ́ ẹ̀kọ́ problem ni pé mo ti ṣe lé ok ẹ jẹ́ àgbọ́ ilé.
Good morning, and this is a quick media. I just want to ask you a few questions.
Akeredolu kọ́ leléyìí o lára àwọn tí wọ́n lọ represent mi ní jọ́nà náà tí wọ́n interview wọn lélẹ̀.
How do you feel about it, and especially the environment you are? And what's your name?
My name is Argo from Abuja.
Okay, so what?
Abuja báwo ibo ló ti wá gangan? Abuja rọ o, Abuja náà ló gbọ́n gbé.
What is your position yesterday, and what did you raise? Is it okay? You are the one with first. Okay, just tell us your full experience and how you feel about the tournament.
It was nice track. Something new for Nigeria. It's also good off-road track. First of its kind in Nigeria. So and. What I loved about it.
I'm not going to bore you too much. I'm just going to share this again on our timeline. This was 2019, November 10. Ṣẹ́rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé tí ẹ kọ̀ ṣe pàdé wa bí alánà. Mo máa ń sọ fún yín pé we have tried our best and we are still trying our best. But our best can never be great should we remain in Nigeria. Nítorí pé Nigeria is taking us backwards. Nigeria has not improved until date. It is still not improved. Ó dà ń pé 2018 kan lélẹ̀ náà. Lára another event yẹn lélẹ̀ náà. 2018 lélẹ̀ 2019 lẹ́wọ̀ lẹ́ǹkan ẹ̀. Àwọn ọlọ́kadà àdúgbò náà sáré. Ṣẹ́rí pé voice mail ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ yẹn 2018. Ibo lẹ̀ ń wò yìí ní inú building wo ló wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ wa yìí ẹ máa rí nísìnyí ṣẹ́rí Akeredolu nìyẹn this was 2018 táwọn ọlọ́kadà àdúgbò náà fi sáré níjọ́ náà yẹn.
Koikimedia live 2018 Ondo Auto Rally the Okada rider.
So sori pé ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé pé prospect wà ní Nàìjíríà but wọ́n dì bá prospect yẹn based on so many reasons there's too many videos and all that that we can continue to bring out but ibi tá a fẹ́ lò kọ́ nìyẹn lẹ́nu all I just like to share with you is my own journey. Because when people are saying, Koiki come back home, nígbà tẹ́mi take risk lọ sí Ondo State ní 2018, kí prospect ayé ẹ̀ lè da, lèmi ṣe wá nígbà yẹn. Because exposure tá a wá fún wọn nígbà yẹn, so that kí ọjọ́ ọ̀la wa lè da nínú Nàìjíríà. The program still run, wọ́n ṣe lọ́dún yìí náà, Akeredolu lélẹ̀ Aketi. problem kan ní pé kìíní máa ní ó máa fi lọ switch you need to switch to Ọlákùnrin no mo bọ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ń lọ wò bí àwọn olè mú wá látẹ̀yìn mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí Ondo Auto wọ́n sì ṣe lọ́dún yìí Ondo Auto Rally koikimedia. Are we gonna get fed up? No. My job is just to continue to educate as many of you. Cherry, àìmọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ mọ̀ yẹn òun lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ sáwà, but it's okay. Torí pé tó bá yẹ pé o mọ tí èmi rí ni pé nígbà tí mo wá sí Auto Rally yẹn kódà ó dà pé èèyàn kan tí mo pàdé àwọn kan níbẹ̀ tó fi ṣe agriculture àbí bíi food and catering bọ̀bọ̀ náà a ṣe wà together ó sì máa ń pè mí lẹ́ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan but ṣé rí gbogbo opportunity yẹn ó wà diminished. Let's move further because I can't get the video up around. Tí bá switch video yẹn ó máa fún mi ní another angle which I don't want ó máa disturb o. Okay, jẹ́ wọlé. Again, he wants to. Let's go on YouTube and just show you one or two things. So let's see Ondo Auto Rally koikimedia. All right, and organizer rally yẹn lélẹ̀ mo play lè láàárọ̀. Níbo ní tábìtì máa ṣe fún Akeredolu wà báyìí tó sọ̀rọ̀ pounded yam tó ní tell everybody to come and invest in Nigeria ní ọmọ bàbá yìí. Pa Elizade mọ́tò lélẹ̀ àwọn bàbá lówó ilẹ̀ Yorùbá èmi àti bàmí lélẹ̀ nígbà tá a lọ sóńdò 2 years ago lélẹ̀ Face of Africa TV ló gbé. So talk it about it. But one thing I just want us to understand is NTA ló pick eléyìí ní 2007. So it's a big event. I mean, it will still be developed in the long run, whether we like it or not, because event ti 2023 lélẹ̀ 1 month ago. Àwọn team wọ̀ lọ ní because ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation tí mo gbé dání mo kọ́ àwọn teams wa kọ́ lọ síbẹ̀. But n tí mo kàn fi fàyọ ni pé we all have a role to play. Role tèmi ń play ó yàtọ̀ sí role tí bàbá Akíntóyè ń play, but a gbọ́dọ̀ fún wọn ní support yẹn ti 2023 lélẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ̀ wo preview yẹn díẹ̀ wọ́n ń pè wọ́n ní work and play. Ẹ má bínú mo nílé play music yẹn because our music yẹn. So ìwọ náà wo structure tí mo ń sọ yìí ó mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá ń wo báyìí ojú tèmi fi ń wò ó tún máa yàtọ̀ tó dé fún ọ̀fun ṣé eléyìí ní síta bá develop ẹ̀ dáadáa ìjọ ọmọ iye tó lè máa pa fún Ondo State ní tí mo tolú ẹ̀ lọ sí Ondo ní 2018 lówó yìí. Mo fẹ́ play àwọn music yẹn. I'm sure ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ̀ pé orúkọ báyìí ń ṣẹlẹ̀ l'Ondo State. Uncle mi kan uncle náà la máa pè UK ń báyìí lọ́wọ́ kó tó di pọ́ relocate lọ sí Nàìjíríà àwọn ló dá gbogbo program project sílẹ̀ wọ́n pè wọ́n ní work and play. Torí pé tó bá jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ó yìí máa develop ìtàrọ̀ránwò yìí ṣe rí gbogbo Formula 1 táwọn wò yẹn náà díẹ̀díẹ̀ ni from small to big. So ìwọ tó ń sọ pé Yorùbá nation ní wáyé ìjẹ́ òun náà ẹ wo terrain yìí ẹ wo ẹ̀yin náà máa wo view yìí tá à ń sọ yìí. Kí ló rò pé ó lè generate fún wa lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Torí Nàìjíríà kò ní fẹ́ jẹ́ kí irú bíbá develop torí pé àwọn olórí burúkú làwọn málà báwọn ṣe ń ronú yàtọ̀ sí báwa ṣe ń ronú. Mentality málà ó yàtọ̀ sí mentality tí torí pé view drone lọ fi ń gbé látòkè. Ṣé òun náà ti rí nísìnyí? Torí àwọn ọmọ wa torí wọn kò wá imagine pé tí kó má jẹ́ pé koikimedia nìkan ìwọ náà tó ń ṣe media ìwọ tó ń blog kí gbogbo promote eléyìí lọ́jọ́ iwájú. Ṣó wá rí pé àwọn òyìnbó tí òun wò yìí ṣó rí pé àwọn take risk ìwọ ò fẹ́ take risk wo bọ̀bọ̀ tó wà nù fídíò yìí nísìn ọlọ́lọ́mọdún tó ti ń gbé nínú Nàìjíríà but àyàtọ̀ tó kọ̀ máa wà mẹ́rin pé wọ́n máa ń fún wọn ní preference nítorí pé skin wọn wàláì kò ń ṣe pé mo parọ́ tọ́lọ́pàá bá dá wọn dúró bọ́lọ́pàá ṣe máa treat ilé ó yàtọ̀ sí bó ṣe fẹ́ treat ìwọ and ìwọ dẹ̀ gangan ni indigene ìwọ gangan ló jẹ́ pé citizen. Some of these people have been in Nigeria for only God knows. Wọ́n kúrò ní Nàìjíríà èmi ò tẹ̀ padà lọ sílùú ẹ̀ èmi ọmọ Cyprus ni wọ́n because Cyprus yẹn náà kò sí nǹkankan níbẹ̀. Do you know the kind of ẹ̀yin mo rí mọ́ ìyá mi gbé mi lékè ẹ̀yin ará Ondo State? This project was in Ondo State. In tó gbé mi lọ sí Nàìjíríà ní 2018 lélẹ̀ to be part of this kind of project. But a dúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run pé ẹni tó ń ṣe ọmọ Yorùbá náà ni ẹ̀ ṣorí pa Elizade ni ẹ̀ ṣorí bàbá yẹn ni ẹ̀ ìtọ́ṣe ní last 2 months or so lélẹ̀. So and I met this man I mean irú gbogbo àwọn bàbá yẹn nísìn lótìtọ́ lódodo ààrí kọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ jáde but irú ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó ń ṣe project ó láwọn bí kan tá sọ̀rọ̀ dé that is off not for the social media. Gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n ń pè wá pé Koiki ìtò ń ṣe lè wait nítorí pé tí ìran Yorùbá bá ìwọ tó ń sọ pé kò síṣẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n program tí mo kọ̀ rọra fi ń wọ̀nyí nísìn this is in Ondo State. Do you know the amount of money that we can be generating from this project? Kódà ó máa run ní ó máa di ìgbà tá à ń ṣe bíi Premier League but òyìnbó ò fẹ́ jẹ́ ká dé stage yìí ìyẹn lèmi ṣe ń sọ fún wọn pé sórí ilẹ̀ yẹn ṣó mọ̀ pé orí ilẹ̀ wa ló ti ń ṣe program yìí ṣó mọ̀ pé tí bá gbà tí ó mọ̀ pé tí wọ́n bá wà lórí ilẹ̀ inú à máa dùn ìdí tó Ọlọ́run nígbà wà nú jẹ́ ìdí tí ni wàá ṣe ń bàjẹ́ mọ́ kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn ní Fátókẹ́ òun ni pé because àìtí ìrí tiwa ṣe nínú ilẹ̀ yẹn ìdí tá a dẹ̀ ṣe rí tiwa ṣe ni pé constitution yẹn ti lọ́ọ̀kì wa ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀n tí wọ́n sọ ní bíbáyìí ìkọwọ́ ṣàkọrin ní bíbáyìí orin tó ń kọ lẹ́ǹkan ni mo ṣe ní òtẹ̀ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọ̀n tó ń sọ ní bíbáyìí. Ìlara mọ̀kì. ṣùgbọ́n kan tó sọ time will come that people will come from other parts of the world. ṣùgbọ́n tó ń pè ní Formula 1 ó tí mọ̀ oh my God ìwọ ń sọ̀rọ̀ politics àní kò sówó nu politics forget about politics. owó ṣọmọ pé Formula 1 àwọn mechanic kan wà níbẹ̀ wọ́n ju olówó Nàìjíríà lọ mechanic lásán ni àwọn tó máa ń change táyà yẹn gbogbo ń ṣàlẹ̀ ṣáà máa rí Formula 1 ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ṣe ní Italy ní sún wọn lè ṣe nítorí plot tó wà níbẹ̀ so ṣé lẹ́yìn Yorùbá youth tá a bá sọ̀rọ̀ tó ń kánjú Koiki yẹ ká ti gbà no ìwọ kọ́ ló máa sọ fẹ́mi pé yẹ ká ti gbà èmi sọ pé yẹ ká ti gbà Yorùbá nation láti 2000 and láti 1960 nítorí pé I have been to I have not been to so many places but irú eléyìí tí mo fi wọ̀nyí nísìn imagine the kind bàbá Elizade lójókòó yìí mo délé wọn aṣọ tó ti wọ̀ náà lọ́lẹ̀ láti ìgbà tá a ti ń ṣe project mo tẹ̀mọ́ tèmi ti tèmi sí and this is why tí bá wá sórí media ó máa ń dàbí ìgbà tó yẹ pé èmi máa ń bínú sọ̀rọ̀ ó kúkú bẹ́tà ká destroy gbogbo ẹ̀ ká wá start afresh nítorí pé a kàn waste time èmi ti pé 40 nísìn mo sì wọ ṣòkòtò àti níkàkiri tó yẹ kí n máa wọ irú àwọn aṣọ tó yẹ pé bíi aṣọ Yorùbá kí n lọ sóko kí n lọ ṣe nǹkan àgbẹ̀ kí n wà kódà mo fi farm house lèmi fẹ́ gbé I don't want to live in the city anymore farm house lọ́wọ́ èmi kí n gbé mo kí ìyàwó Fọlákẹ́ Akínyẹlé but unfortunately a lot of you see me as if kí ni bàbá yẹn sọ lẹ́nu yìí tí mò ń sọ lélẹ́yìí o kí ìran Yorùbá kí a ní àlàáfíà ṣọwọ́n pé àwọn project báyìí nísìnyí báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ta ilé fún international community pẹ̀lú terrorist tó wà láàrin wa ní Nàìjíríà báwo la ṣe fẹ́ sell irú project you can see there work and play lele ọ̀nà àbẹ̀lẹ̀ mo lè play music yẹn because èmi kọ́ mo ní. Are you thinking of what I'm thinking? Ṣe torí ìràn wọ́n tẹ̀ kódà nǹkan tún better off ju last year lọ àmì 28 kọ́ ní gbọ́dọ̀ máa develop ni ṣòro àwọn èèyàn wa torí wọn they are happy they excited torí wọn. Second runner-up was Yusuf Wasiu winner was Shobo Usman Hausa nìyẹn definitely ọmọ Gàmbàrí nìyẹn ọmọ Gàmbàrí ló win kòsó orúkọ Hausa nìyẹn definitely ẹni tó gbé first. àṣẹ àwọn èèyàn wa ìṣòrí smile ẹni wọn mo dúpẹ́ fún ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn is never get ṣe bóbírin Usman Fatai ọ̀kadà ló win Agboola ló gba first runner up Agboola Ekundayo wá tí ìyẹn làwọn kan ṣe àwọn ṣe ń sọ pé the future of Yoruba land is bright but a ti gbọ́ díẹ̀ nínú eléyìí mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn dáadáa wọ́n fún ní 150,000 naira very good ẹ̀ tó win sorry bàbá Elizade nìyẹn Elizade Motors owó ti pọ̀ jù àwọn elite wa nìyẹn àwọn tó ní wọn ló ń kọ nílùú rẹ̀. Bàbá Elizade nìyẹn ló ń jó bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi yẹn ojú ọkọ owó ti pọ̀ jù. Anyway, that is about that for this beautiful event. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n wa ojú ọkọ àwọn náà ń pè ní Works and Play. You can do and find out more about them on the YouTube and all that. Now let's leave that and come back to reality. Àti gbọ́ ti bàbá ìdí ẹ̀, so I'm going to close this because I don't know if we're still straight, pushing law in between. And I want to open the phone line 30 late already. Now, at the red line here, so the line is open. The number to call is +44. Like I said, 3 hours in the program, so that we can, maybe if I have more time, I can come back in the night. If otherwise, we'll call it a day. 1999 Constitution state reduced to pathetic beggars. So that means pé gbogbo àwọn governors tó ti ń run in Nigeria láti 1999 they have not been able to perform because of the constitution. A lè ti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí constitution yìí kò ń ṣèmi ní máa sọ Robert Clark ti sọ Apẹ Babalọlá ti sọ and every one of them. Bó kí ló lè mú Akeredolu Aketi tó ní 1999 constitution our state have been reduced to pathetic beggars. Does that mean that bí Tinubu bá débẹ̀ there will be pressure? Okay, Muslim ni ó kọ̀ jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ Usman. Okay, fair enough. Akeredolu sọ pé our state have been reduced. The governor of Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, ìyẹn ní àná, ó express worry that states in the federation have been reduced to pathetic beggars. Omodi, because wọ́n ní access sí resources wọn. Resources tó ẹ̀kọ́ lò wọ́n ní access sí. Ó sọ̀rọ̀ ní 59 Founders Day anniversary ní Federal University of Education ìyẹn ní Ondo State. Agbẹnusọ ẹ̀ ìyẹn Dáre ó ní there will be no end again block ní ẹ̀jáde díẹ̀ tí wà too tiny yàfi sí 150. Ó ní kò ní sí ìparí because end ni kíkan parí. Ìwọ wá gbàdúrà pé k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí a má rí ìṣẹ́ but àwọn sọ nísìn fún àwa pé kò lè ever sí ìṣẹ́ tó máa tán nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti ní gbogbo Nàìjíríà tí ó mọ̀ dí because of the 1999 constitution. So èmi tẹ́mi ń pariwo tá à ń sọ fún yín tá à ń ṣe àlàyé ẹ̀ ń sọ fún wa pé no pé kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀ but àwa rí pé 1999 constitution yẹn should be jettisoned. The governor who spoke through his special adviser on union matters, Mr. Dare, said there would be no end. Tá bá sọ pé nǹkan end kò ní sí ìparí. Kò sẹ́ni tó lè mọ ibi tí òkun parí sí. Wọ́n ti gbìyànjú títí irọ́ ló ń pa kò lè rí anything. Even àwọn tó wà nínú International Space Station. Unless the basic law, unless òfin was secret. Àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá yìí lọ́ọ́ máa ní tó máa ń lo àwọn òyìnbó báyìí tó ń lo ìtí àwa mẹ̀kúnnù máa tètè understand ẹ já lọ wọ English dictionary.
Tinker.
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 Again.
Tinker.
Ṣe rí pé ìtẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́ sọ pé attempt to repair or improve. So ìtàn sọ ni pé tí wọ́n bá improve lórí 1999 constitution ìṣẹ́ máa pa gbogbo wa ní kí kóra mi náà mọ̀ torí pé tí bá sọ pé ìṣẹ́ máa pa yẹn èyí náà ní ìṣẹ́ máa pa ẹ mọ̀ pé kò tẹ́ máa sọ ni ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ìṣẹ́ máa pa gbogbo wa ní ìwọ máa sọ pé ìṣẹ́ ò ní pa mí lórúkọ Jésù ń tán rẹ ọ̀rọ̀ Jésù ò sí nílẹ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀ ìmú kí Princess Adébímpé grandma ti tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ dárúkọ yín. So gbọ́n tó kọ sí bíbá Akérédolú ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ó ní there will be no thinker àti wà lọ́wọ́ mini thinker yẹn only the law the basic law was tinkered with to reposition the country to prepare for production of goods and services. Ṣọmọ tó ń pè ní goods and services máa ṣàlàyé fún ẹ ṣọmọ rántí pé mo ní mo pè yàn kan ní Bulgaria mo ti pé mi mo pè Sky mo polówó fún Sky torí wọ́n sanwó fún mi mo lè ṣe brand ambassador. But mo ní problem nínú ilé mo sanwó fún Sky mo wá pè wọ́n service nìyẹn wọ́n ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ mi bọ̀ kò sí service èèyàn mélòó ni ó ń sanwó sínú bank tó fẹ́ yọ owó ẹ̀ nínú bank wọ́n sọ fún ẹ pé báńkì Nàìjíríà ló máa gba owó ó ìtí gbowó yẹn ó ti debit ẹ ò rẹ̀ rówó gbà services nìyẹn and there are so many services tó ń lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó yẹ kó gbọdọ̀ máa generate owó fún wa ó máa ń sọ nísìnyí pé ìṣẹ́ máa pa gbogbo wa ní o ẹ̀yọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá torí ìwọ tó ń sọ pé ẹ ti lọ ṣiṣẹ́ òru forget about ọ̀rọ̀ ṣẹ́ òru kọ́ ni ilé ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú wákàtí 5 wọ́n ní ìṣẹ́ máa pa gbogbo wa torí tí bá ní ìṣẹ́ máa pa yín èyí náà máa ní ìṣẹ́ máa pa ẹ́ tó mo ti kóra mi mọ́ rí o lè wá máa tán rẹ pé ìṣẹ́ ò ní pa mí irọ́ ló pa because the basic things of life ò lè rí jẹ láyé nínú Nàìjíríà àfi tó bá sá jáde àfi tó bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ni ìṣẹ́ yẹn máa dínkù díẹ̀ ó ní jẹ́ highlight ẹ̀ fún ẹ kó lè mọ ibi tí mò ń kà ìyẹn lásán gan fi ṣe program mi lọ́tọ̀ intercorraxo yìí there will be ẹ bá mi ṣe àyàn ìgbépọ̀ ẹ̀ there will be no end kò ní sí ìparí sí ìṣẹ́ fún àwa ọmọ Yorùbá àfi tí òfin tí wọ́n ń lò tó bá wà tinker adẹ̀tí lọ́wọ́ mí ní tinker ìtànpè ní lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí tábà ní àfi tábà repair so ìwọ tó wá ń sọ pé Tinubu máa rí ìjọba ṣe orí ọ̀pẹ torí pé orí ọ̀pẹ rárá you must be stupid you are a stupid man or stupid woman ọmọdé nìyẹn àgbàlagbà nìyẹn diaspora nìyẹn o ti ní àrùn ọpọlọ tí wọn ò fẹ́ repair in tó ti damage okay òun drive nísìn ibì kan kò tó ó wá appear níwájú ẹ ṣé o máa drive mọ́tò ẹ yẹn ṣé o máa fi gun orí ẹ ní òmùgọ̀ à ń sọ fún yín pé Nàìjíríà ti wà damage ó ti wà damage to the extent that they are not ready láti repair gbogbo pé wọ́n amend the constitution yẹn fàbú nìyẹn a lè amend tó ti wà damage you cannot amend it. Nigeria constitution ń ṣe ta máa sọ pé kí lè fẹ́ amend a constitution that was put together by the military ní 1999 tí Ọbásanjọ́ lò tí gbogbo wọn lò ìwọ wọn sọ pé Tinubu máa lò ó máa fi tún Nàìjíríà ṣe torí pé o ti ń mu páínpáín ó dà pé o ti ń mu pàìpàìn jókòó kó máa dì sí ìbáre máa tán rẹ èmi kọ́ ló ń tàn já tún lọ wo mí nìyẹn dáadáa síwájú tá a bá sọ pé what does it mean to tinker with someone? Verb, to work in a manner of a thinker, especially to repair, adjust, or work with something in an unskilled or experimental manner. Tabani, what is the simony of tinkered? What if E-R-E-D, sílẹ̀yìn? Interfere, manhandle, doctor, murky. Nigeria constitution ó wà murky. Wọ́n ti wà dotted. Wọ́n ti tọwọ́ bọ̀ lójú. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé lọ́ni mò ń pa jẹ̀tù lọ mú YouTube ní ìwà fún ẹ. Ó mọ̀ pé ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ tọ̀. jẹ́ tún lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mẹ́yẹ kan sí wa 1999 constitution kó lè bá yẹ ìbáwọn ilé wọ́n ní mọ̀jọ́ wa lọ ẹ̀jẹ̀ àgbọn tó sọ. This video was 6 years ago. Continue to deceive yourself. Continue to deceive yourself. We are telling you Nigeria is not working. We have
Mr. Robert Clark, a senior advocate of Nigeria, a legal practitioner. He joins us next as we continue our focus on this amendment to the 1999 Constitution. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming on.
Always my pleasure to be here.
The Honourable said that, in fact, it has an interesting theme, that retreat that they have, towards ensuring good governance, accountability in Nigerian federalism. And I did ask him, he says, look, that Nigerians may have the wrong impression, but they mean well for this country. But looking at some of the provisions, I know you've gone through this.
They mean well. Nobody mean well for you, but nobody mean well for anybody. Olúkálùkù ń sáré àsálà àti ẹni. Tẹ́ bá ń gbọ́ tí ṣé Kimberley àbí kí ló ń jẹ́ lè. They mean well. Níbo ló ti mean well fún yín? Nobody mean well for anybody. Everybody is there to survive. Ẹni tó bá yọ ní ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà.
They really mean well for good governance from what you've seen.
Let us be honest with ourselves. We lawyers says you cannot build something on nothing.
Mo like ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Nǹkan sílẹ̀. You cannot build something on nothing. Nigerians want to build something on nothing.
The Constitution, the 1999 Constitution, is a constitution that I believe we should jettison completely.
Tó bá ń sọ pé jettison, òyìnbó yẹn ti máa ń jáde lẹ́nu àwọn lọ́ọ̀yà yìí. Èyí lọ́ọ̀yà yẹn yé máa lo àwọn òyìnbó táwa wá mẹ̀kúnnù ògbó gbogbo tẹ́ ń sọ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí Google jàre. Jettison, kí ló mean? Ẹ dàyàn lórí rú.
Jettison. Jettison.
Ìtótó yẹn ni.
Jettison.
Ìta máa pè ní.
Jettison.
Tá bá sì ń gbọ́. Gbogbo ìgbà táwọn lọ́ọ̀yà bá ti ń lo. Kí ló dé tí Robert Clark ò ṣe lo òyìnbó tí a máa. Ṣẹ́rí ìyẹn lẹ ṣe máa wà confused ẹ bá ti ń wo channels lílé. Torí ìwọ tó wo channel pé bàbá yìí jettison. Ìwà máa rò kó bí ó sọ pé kò jet out kò travel. No. Ṣọmọ tó ń pè ní.
Jettison.
Anytime tó bá ti ń gbọ́.
Jettison.
Ìtọ́nikọ́ jùnù ni. Ẹ jùnù bí igbó. Igbó ló lọ tàràrà. Òyìnbó á sọ pé throw, drop. Mo ń bọ̀. Baby like practical. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ lọ mú bọ́ọ̀lù kékeré àwọn ọmọ mi wá. Torí ìkan ní ètò tóbi kó má lọ là kán mọ́lẹ̀ kó má pọ̀. Mo ní kékeré yẹn wá. Igbó ló lọ tàràrà. Igbó ní Nàìjíríà. Ẹ̀fẹ̀ ti jù nù ni. Màá ra ju bọ́ọ̀lù yìí torí pé tí bá jù ní púpọ̀. Ṣé o gbọ́ bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn bó ṣe ń dún? O gbọ́ bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn bó ṣe ń dún? Mo ti ń gbé bọ̀ wá síwájú ẹ̀. Give me like practical. Ní practical ló lè yé nítorí orí ẹ̀ ti gbálẹ̀ ló tó ń sọ. Sórí bọ́ọ̀lù yìí. Ní sùúrù. Ẹ ṣe sùúrù ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi. Ṣé ẹ ń rí bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn? Ẹ tí rí àbí? Sórí. Ṣé o ti rí bọ́ọ̀lù yẹn? Sórí pé mo fẹ́ jù nù báyìí. Tí bá fẹ́ jù báyìí. Mo fọwọ́ kan gbà báyìí. Mo fọwọ́ kan mú báyìí. So sórí constitution tí wọ́n wò yẹn tí wọ́n fẹ́ ní pé Tinubu máa fi ṣe ayé ẹ̀ tó máa fi dá tètè sọ fún wọn pé kí Tinubu ṣe kí ni kó jù nù tí Tinubu bá sì di constitution yẹn mú òmùgọ̀ ẹ̀yin ará Èkó ẹ̀ sunkún bẹ́ńbẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Ṣẹ́gun ọ̀nà ẹ ti wálé mọ̀mọ́ kẹ́ ti wọlé sórí ìwọ tó sì ń sọ pé Kóìkì ó dà ń pé orí ẹ̀ ti gbálẹ̀ ní London orí mi gbálẹ̀ náà ni mo fẹ́ ìbí gẹ́gẹ́ bíi ṣé mo jẹ́ kí ni Yèyé Dára máa ń pe onídìbẹ́ǹbẹ̀ lọ máa ń pe kí má gbórúkọ ẹ̀ wá sórí program tí onídìbẹ́ǹbẹ̀ ni onídìbẹ́ǹbẹ̀ torí ẹ̀ ti gbálẹ̀ yẹn orí tèmi ò gbálẹ̀ sórí reality lèmi máa fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ torí pé mo lọ mú bọ́ọ̀lù wa ó yẹ kọ sórí 1999 constitution yẹn Akeredolu ẹ má bínú ẹjẹ àgbẹ̀ kúrò nù sórí 1999 constitution tí wọ́n wò yẹ ó yẹ kọ́ dùnú ni but kò lè yí ọmọ kẹwàá understand ìwọ rò pé constitution yẹn ló fẹ́ máa fi ó fẹ́ máa yẹ kó máa ó fẹ́ kí Tinubu máa fi constitution yẹn kó máa fi ṣe Okorocha chest pass àwèrè constitution tó yẹ kó ti jùnù ti pẹ́ òun la wá ń lò àwa ń deceive ara wa ìyàn lọ sí ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àmì Jésù lórúkọ Jésù Ọlọ́run jẹ́ irinṣẹ́ Tinubu tó débẹ̀ nísìnyí Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí ìrẹsì di 30,000 Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí dọ́là wá sílẹ̀ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ lè lọ London mo bẹ̀ gbàdúrà yẹn Ọlọ́run jẹ́ lè lọ Amẹ́ríkà mo bẹ̀ gbàdúrà yẹn sórí constitution yẹn tó bá ti ní Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà dá Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kí Nàìjíríà dá lórí constitution tó o bá pariwo sínú ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì yẹn àbí ní mọ́ṣáláṣí ó ti jẹ́ tán náà mo wá fẹ́ ju bọ́ọ̀lù inú tó mọ̀ kó mo ti kí ló dé tí mo lọ gbá bọ́ọ̀ bá àwọn tó dẹ̀ máa ń gbá bọ́ọ̀ máa ń lówó Ọlọ́run mo dẹ̀ gbá bọ́ọ̀ defender ni mi ó lè gé mi lọ kàkà kó gé mi lọ máa ṣẹ́ léṣe defender ni mi ó ti pẹ́ tí mo ti gbá bọ́ọ̀ now torí bọ́ọ̀lù yìí nísìn torí pé mo ti torí pé ọwọ́ méjèèjì mo fi dìímú mo fẹ́ jù sí igbó ló lọ tarara torí 1999 constitution yẹn torí mo pé àwọn olórí burúkú àwọn politician torí pé wọ́n dìímú eyín gan àti eyín àti gbogbo ẹ̀ làwọn fi dìímú ìwọ ló máa wá bá ṣe máa já kúrò lọ́wọ́ wọn Akeredolu ń complain fún nìyẹn Akeredolu ń complain lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ ó ní constitution yìí ò dáa ó ní Koiki bá ń pariwo síta mo mọ̀ pé mo ti ṣẹ̀ ẹ́ bá ń sọ fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pé constitution burúkú ni wọ́n gbé dání yìí o born bastard I am here talking every day ẹ gbọ́ now that Akeredolu ti sọ̀rọ̀ bóyá etí yẹn á ṣí pé constitution yẹn ọgbọ́n kan tí Robert Clark sọ ó ní ó jẹ́ kó ti jẹ́ tí sínú ìdànù tipẹ́tipẹ́ bàbá ní Robert Clark kí ló dé tó yẹ pé àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ yìí lọ́ọ̀yà yìí máa ń lò tó kí ń lo òyìnbó tó yín sì fáwọn àwa mẹ̀kúnnù máa bìlíìfù àwọn gaiman àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ tó wà lamẹ́ríkà àti ní Europe àti ní gbogbo ibi tó wà ní continent láti sọ pé Koiki yẹn má gbọ́ kan tí Koiki sọ you are going to be paid torí constitution yẹn jàgbọ́n torí àti lọ mọ meaning next time máa bá wa sọ pé drop
jettison
the action of jettison tá a bá sọ pé jettison báwo la ṣe ń lò what does jettison wọ́n tún béèrè pé what does jettison mean in Oxford òyìnbó ti pọ̀ jù ọ̀nà òyìnbó yìí náà lọ fi dá yérú to get rid of that nonsense 1999 constitution ó lè ṣoríire sẹ́ni mo sọ fún ẹ nínú Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú constitution yẹn kọ́ dífá fún ẹ àfi kí fáyẹn sọ fún ẹ kó máa sájáde nínú Nàìjíríà yẹn ẹ máa jẹra yín lẹ́sẹ̀ ni tó bá ní kéèyàn bí wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́lé ó máa lo jettison yẹn tó jẹ́ kó fi di pé ó máa fi lọ dé mọ́lẹ̀ pẹ̀lú 1999 constitution ó máa yọ nínú sórí sìmẹ́ǹtì tó ní kó rà tó bá ní kó ra 6 ara 4 òun náà ló ń fi 2 fi kọ́lé tiẹ̀ àwọn ló máa kọ́lé èèyàn ló máa kọ́lé kò ní security Nàìjíríà nìyẹn máa kọ́lé kò sí security continue to say pé àmọ́ tá à ń sọ ṣèbá Akeredolu ti sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí to get rid of as super ilé ọtún lóyìnbó ńláńlá ní bíbá or encumbering to omit or forgo as part of a plan or as the result of other decision are they going to forgo this constitution jagbon tí Robert Clark sọ.
The 1999 constitution is a constitution that I believe we should jettison.
Bàbá ò bá ti sọ pé ká throw away ọmọ Nàìjíríà mélòó ló fẹ́ lè àwọn tí wọ́n níná. How can you be saying jettison? You are saying jettison when you should have just told us we should throw it away. But ẹ try there ìlú ti bá wọn ṣe bàbá Robert Clark ẹ dàgbà dáadáa. Only we should jettison it. Ẹ̀yin kan wá jókòó sílé ẹ jókòó sí abroad ẹ wá ní Tinubu máa rí ṣe ẹ wá tún ẹ tún tọ́ba tó wá fẹ́ ṣe wá fọ́ Ọlọ́run blọ́ọ̀kì lẹ́yìn wọ́n ní Ọlọ́run á jẹ́ kó rí ṣe ń bọ̀ ìwọ náà gbọ́n tí bàbá yìí sọ a play bàbá yìí láàárọ̀ yìí mo kàn tó fẹ́ lọ mú bàbá yìí jáde gbọ́n tí bàbá yìí sọ àwọn ọlọ́ṣẹ̀ o ọwá fi da kàkà kọ́ sọ pé àwa la ṣẹ̀ èmi pásítọ̀ yìí ni mo ṣẹ̀ bàbá yìí wá sọ pé èmi ni mo ṣẹ̀ ó wá ń kó gbogbo àpapọ̀ mọ́ra wọn ṣé bàbá yìí ò mọ̀ pé àwa kọ́ la ṣẹ̀ ṣé èmi ni mo ṣẹ̀ bàbá tó ṣẹ̀ ò sọ pé òun lòún ṣẹ̀ ẹ̀dá gbọ́n tó sọ.
Almighty God, we are suffering. Have mercy. Enough is enough. Oh. Almighty God, hey, please have mercy. Ṣàánú
Ọlọ́run ìyanu ṣàánú àjẹ̀bí àríbì kankan sá sí ṣùgbọ́n ẹ jọ̀ọ́ nítorí orúkọ Jésù Kristi ẹ ṣàánú fún wa ẹ jẹ́ ara àánú gbà ẹ ṣàánú orílẹ̀-èdè wa ẹ ṣàánú ẹbí wa ẹ ṣàánú ìjọ Ọlọ́run ẹ ṣàánú wa gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan Olódùmarè ẹ ṣàánú o Ọlọ́run ìyanu ẹ ṣàánú o ẹ sọ òkùnkùn wa dì mọ́lẹ̀ Ọlọ́run ìyanu ìnira yìí ti pọ̀ jù olùdáǹdè ẹ ṣàánú ẹ foríjì wá ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ sọ òkùnkùn wa dì mọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó ń tẹ̀ wá mọ́lẹ̀ àwọn tó ń rẹ́ wá jẹ ẹ ṣàánú Ọlọ́run Olódùmarè ẹ ṣàánú àjẹ̀bí o àwa ló jẹ̀bi o Olódùmarè àjẹ̀bí àwa la múnú yín dùn òun ni wàhálà fi dé dípò ká sọ pé ẹ jọ̀ọ́ níṣẹ́ là ń sọ pé ńbo lọ́lọ́run ọ̀hún wà ńbo lójú ẹ̀ wà kí ló dé tó ń wo gbogbo eléyìí tó ń lọ yìí tí ò ṣe nǹkan bàbá ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ṣàánú Nàìjíríà o Olódùmarè ẹ ṣàánú orílẹ̀-èdè wa ọ̀gá ògo ẹ ṣàánú orílẹ̀-èdè wa ẹ ṣàánú wa ẹ ṣàánú ọmọdé ẹ ṣàánú àgbà ẹ ṣàánú mẹ̀kúnnù ẹ ṣàánú àwọn tí ò nípá àwọn tí ò lólùrànlọ́wọ́ ọ̀gá ògo ẹ ṣàánú wa o ẹ̀yin nìkan ṣoṣo náà nìrànlọ́wọ́ wa o ẹ ṣàánú o Olódùmarè ẹ ṣàánú.
Bàbá ṣe jáde kẹ́ sọ pé constitution yẹn pé kò yẹ káwọn kẹ́tẹ̀ bá wà láwọn òyìnbó kan kẹ́yìn náà sọ pé jettison ká má tẹ̀lé understanding. Mo kí ìyàwó Ọlásùnbọ̀ Sangol lánàá ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin alálùbáríkà. Mo kí ẹyọmọdé, mo kí àgbàlagbà. A ti mú ètò yẹn wálẹ̀ díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí ṣe sọ. Lórí tọ́pìkì continuity ni. Because a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe exposition ẹ̀ torí pé ṣẹláwà Yorùbá àwa la difficult jù láti lè understand kankan bàbá ẹ tí bá wa sọ díẹ̀ nínú tẹ́ ń sọ lọ yìí.
Because it does not augur well. After 17 years, it has created more problems for us in Nigeria.
After 17 years, this constitution has created more problems. Mo kí lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí bàbá mi Joseph Ọládàpọ̀. Mo kí bàbá mi Túndé Michael. Mo kí ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ wà nulẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin àgbàlagbà tẹ́ fọwọ́ rọ́rí pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló di nǹkan báyìí. Mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin bàbá náà tẹ́ ń sọ pé a sì wà lẹ́nu ẹ̀ náà ni. Mo kí bàbá wa Kẹ́hìndé. Àníṣe ẹ jẹ́ kèmi ju bọ́ọ̀lù yìí sẹ́gbẹ́ kan. Mo ti jù sẹ́gbẹ́ kan. Àwọn politician ti jẹ wá run. Mo kí mọ́mí wa Eunice Ládépọ̀. Bàbá mi Olúwafẹ́mi Frank. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Dublin. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Cyprus. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kẹ́yìn ti Turkey. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Dubai. Ẹ̀yin ti Oman. Mo kí yín. Ẹ̀yin ti Baghdad. Ó mà tójọ́ mẹ́ta ká gbúrò ìyàwó Àbíbá. Mo kẹ́yìn ti Saudi Arabia. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo kẹ́yìn ti Switzerland. Ẹ̀yin ti Austria. Ẹ̀yin ti Belgium. Mo gbàgbé ẹ̀yin ti Italy. Ẹ̀yin ti Congo. Mo gbàgbé Haiti. Ẹ̀yin ti Liberia, ẹ̀yin ti Togo, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Niger náà tó Ọlọ́run bá àfiṣọ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ yín o. Ìjọ mẹ́fà ló kù gbáko tí a máa fi mọ ibi tí ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà ń tẹ̀síwájú sí. Bí ti ṣe sọ, diplomacy between us and our representative. Bí Anísìn Akeredolu ti ń sọ tí ó fẹ́ di ọmọ kan tá à ń fẹ́, bí òun náà ń dókí Tinubu débẹ̀ ni, gbogbo ọmọ wa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí í ṣe orí kọ lọ́wọ́.
It has given more powers to the executive governors and the president.
Did you hear that? The 1999 constitution ó fún àwọn gọ́fúnà agbára yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. Àwọn tí wọ́n operate ju military era lọ.
In exercising these powers, they have allowed corruption to come.
Nínú ẹ̀ náà ni corruption ti ṣẹlẹ̀. Koiki Fúlàní wà nígbó báwo la ṣe máa ṣe wọ́n? Kí ni ẹni ṣe pẹ̀lú èmi? Do you know pé ìdí bàbá ìfẹ́ sọ nísìn ṣé o mọ̀ pé tí bàbá ìfẹ́ sọ nísìnyí mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Olúwaṣeun Adédoyin ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Pastor Devolve, please stop. Ẹ̀yin lẹ jẹ̀bi sir. I am not included in your guilty verdict because I am a victim. Mr. Fab ní jettison bẹ́ẹ̀ ni òyìnbó yẹn ti ẹ̀kọ́ jettison yẹn kó ọba ti sọ pé ká throw away. And the jettison ọkọ̀ da brain wa rú. Shout out to those of you on the Twitter. I don't know who is there. Mo kí gbogbo yín bàbá wa Lájídé. Mo kí ẹ̀yin family mi. Ẹ ṣé gan ni Uncle Tunde Michael kò ní bàjẹ́ fún yín lórí Instagram. Ibi tó olúkálukú wa ti ń gbìyànjú because we are all doing our little best. Ẹlòmíì wà nínú company kan tó báyìí tí rí company yẹn ti dàrú. And I'm not joking. Bọ̀kọ́lọ́ Elédùmarè wá jẹ́ ká lè ṣerú ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ Yorùbá là ń pariwo. Bí ṣe sọ, àwọ̀ hate Tinubu lórí platform. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́gbọ́n tá à ń sọ. Tinubu máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò ẹ̀. Elédùmarè kó wà pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Àmọ́ àwa gbọ́dọ̀ gbọ́ tiwa. Nínú pé Tinubu fẹ́ wọlé yìí tó bá ti débẹ̀ tán, inú ẹ̀ náà la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ civil disobedience. A máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ rally, a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbogbo tí a fi lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ pé a fẹ́ lọ. Bó bá wá kọ̀, bó kọ́ gbọ́ wa, bó gbọ́ wa, bọ̀ ní tí mo lè sọ fún gbọ́ Yorùbá ni pé 2031 ni Tinubu máa ṣe tán. Èmi ti fún títí de 2031, àwọn kan ní ẹ kò lè survive 2031, àwọn kan lè lédùmarè. Èmi ti fún títí di 2030, ṣèbí ṣé bàbá dé ní 2015 ó dàbí àná. So Tinubu will only be there. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá wa Ọ̀pánúgà. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń support platform wa. Ní ti làákàyè, ní ti advice, Koiki yìí máa sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe pé ìgbà tẹ́ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ní 2 years ago. Ṣe pé mo dáhùn náà, ẹ̀yin ọmọlúàbí ni mí. Ẹ ṣe lè pè mí kẹ́ ní Koiki ṣe báyìí kí ó kọ́ àyà mi lẹ́nu pé lára àwọn tájọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò, àwọn kan tó wá ń sọ pé rọ́là ń pa. Mo kí ẹ láti àyà mi bẹ́ẹ̀. Mo dọ́dọ̀ ẹ̀ tán kù díẹ̀ l'Amẹ́ríkà tí bá máa kọ́kọ́ pé mo fẹ́ lọ Amẹ́ríkà tí mo bá dọ́dọ̀ Azeez ní Miami irọ́ ni mo pàṣẹ. Mo gbọ́dọ̀ débẹ̀ kó ṣe pé torí pé ó jọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú. Èèyàn làwọn. Santra Koko mo kí yín, mo kẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa tí ẹ̀ kì í ṣọmọ Yorùbá. Ní pé à ń bínú sẹ́nì kankan náà. Ẹni tó bá ń jà fún humanity, ó ní láti bínú sáwúsá, but àwọn Fúlàní no. Torí pé UK náà ní allow kí terrorists wà nínú ìlú yìí. They've disturbed our lives too much. Ẹ jẹ́ gbọ́ Robert Clark díẹ̀ lẹ́ǹkan sí.
You understand? The question of security votes.
Sórí wo tó ní Koiki Fúlàní wà nínú gbókìlá máa ṣe sí mo bẹ́ẹ̀ torí Ọlọ́run. Ṣé dáwọn ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn àyìn girama ẹ jẹ́ ká máa bèèrè lọ́wọ́ gọ́vnà wa. Ṣé ní tí bàbá ìfẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ó ní security vote. Ìyàn mélòó lọ́mọ tó ń pè ní security vote? Má parọ́ o. Ta ló ti gbọ́ security vote rí? Ẹ sọ pé yes. Security vote ta ló gbọ́ rí? Abẹ́kọ̀ mọ́mí mi ológun jà mo máa long lẹ́tí wà pẹ̀lú mi but torí ti yín ẹ jẹ́ n tún lọ one step padà sẹ́yìn Ọlọ́run jà lọ one step torí pé mo mọ̀ bí ẹ wà nígbà tí mò ń ṣó Ondo state lẹ́ẹ̀kan ẹ̀yin àti ìyá mi gbé mi lékè mo fẹ́ gbé yín lọ sóńdó Ondo àwọn Ondo ọtọ ṣẹ́rí wọn ló play audio yẹn Ondo state lélẹ́yìí I'm sure pé mọ́mí mi comfort àmà ní ẹwo ilẹ̀ wa bó ṣe dán ara project mo tẹ̀lé wọn lọ ní 2018 in tó gbé mi dé Ondo lélẹ̀ kíkẹ́ tó mọ púpọ̀ náà èèyàn mọ Ondo state èmi ti lọ sí state yìí mo nítorí pé ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú ni yín mo ṣeré lọ sóńdó torí pé mo wo project yẹn pé nígbà tẹ́gbọ́n mi yẹn tí mo lọ bá ní London tó ṣe analysis ní táwọn fẹ́ ṣe fún mi mo ní mo gbọ́dọ̀ dé Nàìjíríà wàláì mo wọ plane mo dẹ̀ travel lọ sí Nàìjíríà mo kí Mr. Femi Pride àwọn ará Ẹ̀kútọ́nù ní Koiki máa bá wa sọ Yorùbá ẹ̀mí náà ń gbìyànjú díẹ̀díẹ̀ ṣé wàá rí Ondo tẹ̀ ń wò yìí àwọn ilé náà ń pè ní work and play ẹ wo project yìí ẹ jẹ́ ká wò fún pé in the next 20 years in the next 10 years ó lè di Formula 1 ìwọ náà wo ilẹ̀ bó ṣe tán tátátátátá wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ kódà wọ́n tún wá improve ju ti tẹ́lẹ̀ lọ because gbélé tí mo rí nísìn kò dà báyìí tẹ́lẹ̀ that means pé improvement dé ìtaṣe sọ fún èèyàn ni pé there is opportunity in Yoruba land opportunity yẹn cannot be quantified àṣewáfẹ́ sọ pé ká má ṣe wàhálà lórí ìrìn àjò àwọn òyìnbó tẹ̀ ń wò yìí wọ́n ń ṣe pure òyìnbó àwọn bí Cyprus nǹkan kan ní wọn bọ̀ wọ́n ti wà ní Nàìjíríà àwọn kan dà pé Lebanese ni gbogbo náà ni mo meet ìyẹn mo ṣe ń sọ fún àwọn ọlọ́kadà líle ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fún èèyàn wa bàbá ṣẹ̀dá àwọn ẹ̀wù culture wa ẹ̀dá ògbó ọkọ̀ Hey, culture tá à ń sọ ẹ wò culture ẹ wò níbi dẹ́ ń wú báyìí ẹ wò culture ẹ wò àwọn ọmọ wa ẹ wò àwọn èèyàn wa ẹ wò tá à ń sọ fún yín pé àníṣe ẹ mọ iye tí a lè make in tourism torí mọ́mí wa comfort ẹ̀yin lẹ jàǹfààní eléyìí mo mọ̀ pé a ti play lẹ́ẹ̀kan mo kàn mọ̀ tún rí ìwáìnì ẹ̀ kódà tẹ̀ wò nígbà tẹ́lẹ̀. This can be developed to racing ground. Ìtọ́fẹ́ ṣe gangan náà nìyẹn ní Ìlaramọ̀kì. I was there in 2018. Kò ṣe pé mo tẹ̀lé wọn débẹ̀ ni. Nígbà tẹ́gbọ́n mi yẹn tó ṣe analysis plan yẹn fún mi, mo ní mo dé Nàìjíríà tó pẹ̀lú yìí. Èmi owó ara mi dẹ̀ mo fi lọ Nàìjíríà. Mo ní opportunity láti rí governor. Back end mi ò gbọ́ lẹ́ǹkan ni mo ní kó bá mi send picture Akeredolu. Ṣé ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn pé ṣé nísìnyí ṣe máa sọ pé mo fẹ́ gbowó lọ́wọ́ politician? When I had the opportunity láti gbowó lọ́wọ́ Akeredolu ní 2018, ìsínúṣẹ́ máa sọ pé mo fẹ́ gbowó. Nígbà tí mo lè gbowó lọ́wọ́ bàbá Elizade, mo délé ẹ̀ ni bàbá yẹn nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi, àwọn bàbá dáadáa. A kàn sọ fún gbogbo wọn pé ẹja àjọ dáwọ́ bò, ẹja àjọ ṣe ẹ̀gbọ́n mi náà nìyẹn. Ẹni tó ní project yẹn ló dé fìlà blue yìí. Gbogbo wọn náà ló ń bá wa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn, nǹkan bá mi sọ àní máa sọ lórí social media. Àwọn kan ṣiṣẹ́ underground. Abáfẹ́ fífọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ underground ní Koiki, abáfẹ́ ṣe ọ̀kan ṣiṣẹ́ underground. I went to Ondo State. Mo ò lè sọ pé torí pé èmi àti mọ́mí wa kan fọdọ ológun jà. Ṣèbí láàrin ìrìn àjò lọ́lọ́ ní ká tó kẹ́mi wá join. But èmi ti lọ sí state wọn láti lọ bá wọn promote state wọn. Wọ́n ọ̀dẹ̀ sanwó fún mi, gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ ní bíbá. Wọ́n sanwó fún mi, ọ̀fẹ́ ni mo lọ. Do àwọn lọ fún wa lóòótẹ́ àwọn dẹ̀ lọ fi mọ́tò gbé wa lọ fi mọ́tò gbé mi padà. But ẹ mọ̀ pé tíyàn bá wà as a diaspora tó bá lọlé tó dẹ̀ wà nínú mídíà tó dẹ̀ rí nǹkan téèyàn fẹ́ ṣe bí ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn náà mo ṣe pẹ̀lú Captain John ọmọ Anambra State ní Captain John ọmọ South East. Ǹjẹ́ kò sí ara ní Koiki Chelsea ní Ìgbòho máa wá fẹ́ gbowó lọ́wọ́ ìwọ ló máa mọ̀ pé Ìgbòho fẹ́ gbowó lọ́wọ́ politician nígbà tí Ìgbòho ní access sí politician before Yorùbá nation. Ìyẹn la ṣe sọ fún ẹ̀yin kéékèèké tẹkàn máa ń jáwọ́ inú program tẹ́ ní understanding kankan pé ẹ farabalẹ̀ mo kí bàbá Oyèwọlé ibi tá à ń lọ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá òun ló dùn jù àmọ́ ẹjẹ́ agbọ́n tí bàbá ìfẹ́ sọ lórí security vote bàbá mi Oyèwọlé sọ pé yes ṣé òkè kan sọ pé wọ́n lọ òkè Fẹ́mi Bright ló sọ pé yes àwọn ti gbọ́ nípa security vote ni kí ló ń pè ní security vote what is the purpose ẹjẹ́ agbọ́n tí senior advocate of Nigeria Robert Clark máa sọ níbí báyìí.
Has no basis in the Constitution. They are illegally accepting security votes without constitutional.
Wọ́n gba security vote without the constitution. Constitution náà ni Akeredolu pariwo lé nísìnyí mọ́mí wa Comfort Ológunjà. Mo kí n torí ẹ̀yin ni gómìnà yín ni. Ẹ rí i pé Akeredolu ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìnyí. Ó ní 1999 constitution ó ti reduce gbogbo ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà to pathetic beggars. Àwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń gbé yẹ̀wò lẹ́yẹ kankan nínú ẹ̀ láti mú tínkà jáde àwọn òyìnbó ńláńlá ti jáde nínú program lẹ́nìí kábíyèsí lẹ́dùnmarè. Ó ní there will be no end to the misery of the people unless the basic law was tinkered with to reposition the country to prepare for production of goods and services. If not, torí wọ́n tó ń sọ pé Tinubu, I pray that it's going to work as you think it.
Provisions. Security votes was brought in by the military government because being a military governor, he needed security votes to start looking at people who are going to topple their government by will.
Now, ẹ lọ wo èyí tí mo ṣe ní aago 5 láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Mo ń sọ pé nígbà táwọn military wà níbẹ̀, mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú military. Mo ní they were so powerful that lẹ́ni nísìn. Àyàwá ṣì ń já fáwọn military. Ìdí táyàwá ṣe ń já ni pé because wọ́n ti bà psyche wa jẹ́, wọ́n ti bà ayé jẹ́ gan. Wọ́n ti disturb brain wa and that is why okay mi nísìn tí bá gbọ́. Tẹ́mi bá jókòó sí bíbá nísìn tí mo wọ àwọn kámọ̀ mi ti máa ń wọ̀ yẹn. Àwọn kámọ̀ mi ti máa ń dé. Tí wọ́n bá dérú ẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà problem ló máa jẹ́ nítorí pé òyìnbó tó kó wa papọ̀ wọ́n àláwọ̀ ní kémi wọ kámọ̀ nílùú yìí kí ló dé tí ó dẹ̀ láwọn adúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run Azeez kò ní bàjẹ́ fún ẹ ọlọ́run àbá ń dúró tiẹ̀ òkú palẹ̀ mọ́. So ṣó wá rí i pé military ló dá ọ̀rọ̀ security vote sílẹ̀ ẹ ṣe bákẹ́ǹtì military ló dá ọ̀rọ̀ security vote sílẹ̀ they are the criminals àwọn ni wọ́n fún wa ní problem lẹ́nìí tí a fi ń sọ fẹ́yìn èèyàn wa pé ẹ jẹ́ a fi Nàìjíríà sílẹ̀ ẹni náà ẹni Kóìkì ìwọ ò ṣe jẹ́ kí Tinubu débẹ̀ dáná tó bá wá débẹ̀ gbogbo àjọ máa wà lórí ọwọ́ kan náà ok Tinubu dẹ̀ ti wá débẹ̀ nìyẹn àti agree àmọ́ ǹjẹ́ Tinubu máa lè ṣe as much àwọn picture kan wà tí mo fẹ́ fi wọ̀nyí èèyàn wa nísìnyí má bínú pé a ti slow down èmi mo wà lórí program ojú ò kan mi náà but tá bá lọ over 3 hours náà ẹ má bínú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ń lé ni. Mo pàdé Ọ̀ṣọ́bà ní London ní 2019 July precisely gbogbo wọn ni mo mọ̀ but níta kan sọ ni pé why tí wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ tó pọ̀ why tí wọ́n gbóhùn sókè why kí ló dé ìyà ń jẹ wá náà ẹ wá ń fi owó security vote àwọn kan wá ní ká máa tẹ̀lé Fúlàní wọnú igbó tí àkó nǹkan náà ọmọ tó máa lọ kó tó máa tẹ̀lé wọn mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà mo dẹ̀ kí gbogbo àwọn ọmọ OPC ẹ̀yin tèmi ibi báyìí ní international platform I am not here to condemn any other platform but pé òun sọ pé òun wábi tí o ti máa ní understanding Yorùbá nation from the international perspective bàbẹ́ ibi báyìí ló ti máa gbọ́ wàá gbọ́ dáadáa torí pé iṣẹ́ tèmi ń ṣe ẹ̀bùn ni kò ń ṣe pé dẹ̀ǹsẹ̀ ẹ̀bùn ni mo sọ fún ẹ pé built in ọmọ tó ń pè ní built in kọ́ build nǹkan in òun lèmi gbé dání èmi ti gbà pé eléyìí tájọ́ ń fà yìí fight to finish òun la gbé dání a máa fight ẹ̀ so that we can survive because wọ́n ò fẹ́ jẹ́ ká survive and that is why they are doing everything wọ́n ti kówó jẹ nílẹ̀ yẹn o àwọn kan gba security vote tí kò wà accountable àárí sọ sí yẹn ìyẹn ò important àbí ok máa wo àwọn àwòrán yẹn díẹ̀díẹ̀ bí ṣe ń gbé bọ̀ that is what and the kind of network torí pé èmi àti Akeredolu nìyẹn mọ́mí mi Comfort Ológunjà èmi àti gọ́vnà yín nìyẹn that was in 2018 kámẹ́rà kì í parọ́ eléyìí ò ń ṣe photoshop wọ́n ṣe lọ editẹ̀ tó fi pé mo mọ tí mo lè kùn sílé èmi tèmi rí bẹ́yẹn tó mọ orúkọ tá a bá sọ ni tó bá yẹ pé mo fẹ́ gba owó gidi tèmi náà máa sọ pé ẹ jẹ́ ká àbá yín ṣe mídíà tó máa dé standard tí ó jágbàjàgbà tẹ̀ ń ṣe lọ níbí báyìí but like I always say tàbá ti bí wọn ní ìbéèrè sórí gbogbo wọn níbẹ̀ yẹn ẹ̀yin sí dẹ́ èmi àti Ọ̀ṣọ́bà nìyẹn Ọ̀ṣọ́bà the former governor ní London nìyẹn o bàbá tó ń wò yẹn bàbá lápárí òun ní Uganda president ó ti wà bẹ̀ tipẹ́ mo níjà wo ló máa lọ oníkèmí tún máa wọ̀rí ṣọba pé òun ló bá wọn parí ìjà ní Sudan máa tán ìwò yìí he's been there in Uganda mo dẹ̀ lọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ kan tí family friend wa ọmọ Uganda kò tó fẹ́ kan náà ọmọ family wa ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ fẹ́yìntẹ́ wà lé pé it is not about mouth forget it the 1999 constitution tó ọba jẹ́ ti sílẹ̀ we going nowhere ni mo sọ nowhere là ń lọ so we gonna go back ọkọ̀ mọ́mọ́ lọ kó gba àwọn pictures yẹn so kẹ́ lè máa rí àwọn tí bọ̀bọ̀ ìbá ní gba àwọn nẹ́tíwọ́ọ̀kì ṣé o mọ̀ ìbéèrè yìí náà lè máa sọ pé your net worth is your network is your net worth Mukin Grammar Ilé Ajayi. So let's go back to Robert Clark while you continue to see those images behind you there.
So they allowed them that money so that they could be paying spies to report any
Mukin Mr. Abiodun Ola.
Now, the civilians inherited it without a constitutional provision. When Imo State was doing it,
ẹ farabalẹ̀ kẹ́gbọ́ bíbá yẹ wọ̀ pé Imo State ní Okorocha olè. The same owó tí Imo State bá gbà ní security vote òun náà ló likely pé kí Akeredolu gbà. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ wá ń sọ pé káwọn máa káwọn ọmọ sínú igbó tí àníkọ̀tà máa fún wọn. Tàbádẹ́ nìkan dáwó wá ní kí ló fowó ṣe. Kí la Akeredolu ń fowó security vote ṣe. Ẹ ṣe gan ní gbọ́n ìtẹ́wà. I think silent listeners were.
Here's something on your channel. The commissioner said Okorocha released 4 billion of his security.
4 billion ni wọ́n ní Okorocha release of his security vote. Do you know how much is 4 billion? So my don pè ní 4 billion ṣá. Òfin ìpòwó kékeré ní 4 billion. 4 billion is a lot of money. Mukin Jamo 419 ẹ̀ka àbọ̀ sórí ètò. Show_7 Mukin.
To enable them to use it in building schools.
Ṣùgbọ́n
Let us even agree that 4 billion is the minimum.
4 billion is the minimum. Kawa multiply it by all the 36 states.
When you multiply 4 billion by 36 every year for the past 17 years,
Ṣùgbọ́n
you see what money has been going into the pockets of these governments, and they don't account to anybody.
nobody accounts for it. So you can see why people like us are now saying, okay, Akeredolu, we are happy that you are now talking. Like I said, this is a conversation I'm lórí more and more. Mo kí gbogbo wa pé Oòduà akúkú gbé wá la máa ń sọ kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Yorùbá nation tá à ń sọ yìí. Èyí tẹ́ ń béèrè pé Koiki ló máa wáyé. Bí ti ṣe sọ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀ lọ gbọ́ program tààrọ̀ ẹ̀ tí mo ṣe. Ó dà pé mo ṣe street one kan. Analysis yẹn English ni mo fi ṣe. Tẹ́ bá lè farabalẹ̀ kẹ́ fi gbọ́. Ṣorí pé double camera ní gbogbo ẹ̀ lénìí. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ ń filẹ̀ báyìí. Ṣorí òyìnbó tí oníkèmí máa wọ ilé níbí báyìí tí wọ́n jẹ́ kí wọ́n wọ̀ ní Nàìjíríà. Ǹjẹ́ wọ́n béèrè lọ́wọ́ òyìnbó yẹn pé kí ló dé tí Koiki tí àjọjọ́ ọmọ Nàìjíríà tí òun lè dé fìlà sójà ní London or England àbáwọn tó wà ní other Africa àbáwọn tó wà ní America kí ló dé tó lè dé fìlà yẹn tèmi ò lè dérú fìlà báyìí. It's all because still in the same society. Ẹ ṣé Mr. Ọlá Ajíbọ́lá. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé ìfẹ́ ta ní sí yín ẹ lè understand it. Tọ́tà àbá nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí yín ni èmi ò ní lọ sóńdó ní 2018. Ṣé mo pọ́ mọ̀ mi ní 2018? Àwọn tó mọ̀ mí yàtọ̀ because stage oríṣiríṣi làwọn èèyàn fi mọ̀ yàn. Wà á dúpẹ́ fún Ìgbòho Òòṣà tó tún jẹ́ kí irú ilé tá à ń ṣe pé kọ́ mọ̀ wá torí pé òun ló la gbogbo wa lójú. But I have been around before Igboho. And I have taken that risk láti dé Ondo State. Ẹlòmíì ò tí kúrò nínú kò tí ẹlòmíì ò tí lọ sí state ìmírì tó jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá. Ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ diaspora tó ti ń lọlé. Kí ló fẹ́ lọ ṣe níbẹ̀? Ṣé ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú máa náà fẹ́ lọ nísìn? But àwọn òrò yẹn, àwa lọ sóńdò. I wanted to travel to a lot of states. Ààrí funding nígbà yẹn ni. So fún ìpè tó bá yẹ pé mo fẹ́ ṣe kánnikánní, màá mọ tí máa sọ fún Akeredolu tó dẹ̀ máa release nothing less than 5 million fún mi. Wọ́n mọ tí máa sọ fún. Tó bá dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn fún mi lówó látijọ́ ta ti ń ṣe program báyìí, ó jáde. Àmẹ́tí kò ń ṣe pé lórí platform at least you can see there. Ṣe rí pé kò sí security. Ìyàtọ̀ èmi àti àwọn journalist tó wà nílé nìyẹn. Torí scale tèmi gbéra mi sí. Ó tẹ̀ ṣe kú picture kan tí mo ti mú jáde. Ẹ jẹ́ mú picture yẹn jáde ká tó máa lọ. Ìyẹn ò sí lára picture tí mo ti put out nísìnyí. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé, ìwọ wá fi ṣírò ààrẹ pé tó bá jẹ́ pé ìwọ náà ló ní. Ìyẹn la ṣe ń sọ pé ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń sọ pé Ìgbòho ṣe kinní kan. Tó mọ̀ pé èmi náà ní network before Yorùbá nation. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mo yẹ kó wá wo irú ìtí Ìgbòho ní ṣé mọ̀ pé Ìgbòho tí wàá ní ju irú èmi lọ. Imagine tí ṣìfù ní. Èmi tí mo jẹ́ ọmọ kékeré báyìí, wo irú àwọn network tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé your network is your net worth. Ẹ̀mí àlòwò nísàlẹ̀ yìí. Sanusi bẹ́ẹ̀ ni tó bá mi tán pè lẹ́míà. Sanusi nígbà tó wá sí London mo sọ fún yín pé wọ́n ò sanwó fún mi fún project. Àǹtí mi tó gba project yẹn ó sì wà ní London dọ́là. £1 mo gbà pé mo lọ kò jẹ́ pọ́fẹ́ pé wọ́n ti sọ pé wọ́n fún wa lówó because inú Nigerian High Commission ni mo wà. ni wọ́n pè mí pé ibo ni mo wà, mo ní mo wà ní high commission, mo ń ṣe project kan lọ́wọ́ níbẹ̀. Tí bá ní project mo lọ cover as a media person. And he did a lot of voluntary work for the Nigerian High Commission in London. So many tí mo gbowó, tí mo gbà, kódà mo fẹ́ lé ní pé drink nìkan la mu níbẹ̀. Wọ́n mọ̀ mí dáadáa within the Nigerian society ní Nigeria. Kò ń ṣe pé mo fi ń dẹnu. Inú bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo wà lọ pè mí pé Sanusi wà around. Wọ́n ṣe program kan pé ṣé mo lè wá bá wọn cover. It's meant to be paid for, but I never got paid. But nígbà tí bá upload the pictures sórí media tí mo gbé sórí Facebook, Koiki àti Emir, bọ̀bọ̀ yìí ó ti jẹ pay bàjẹ́. Mo sọ fún yín pé Bọ́lá Ṣàgáyà wà lórí, wọ́n ń dápara òun àti Bọ́lá Ṣàgáyà níjọ́ yẹn. Òun àti ọ̀rẹ́ gidi ní Sanusi tẹ̀ ń wò yìí. Pàdí gidi lòun àti Bọ́lá Ṣàgáyà. Pàdí gidi from the conversation. Because Bọ́lá Ṣàgáyà flew to London for this event. Fọ́nà pé Sanusi fúnra rẹ̀ gan yàtọ̀ sí pé ń lọ Nàìjíríà, London ló base nísìn. Lára alítọ́ ti rà sí London. He was a former governor, former emir. So imagine kéékèèké táwa kọ̀ rọra ní lọ́wọ́ yìí. Tá a bára wa jẹ́, ṣé ìwọ nísìn tó wò wá? Tá à ń sọ fún pé tó wá ń point finger sí irú àwọn bàbá Akíntóyè ẹ̀rọ onírú network táwọn bàbá yẹn ní lọ́wọ́. Ìdí tá a ṣe ń sọ fún àwọn gọ́fúnà ni pé gbá àpọ̀ tá à ń sọ, a lè dúpẹ́ pé Akérédolú ti ń sọ̀rọ̀. Because the same thing tẹ́mi sọ lòun náà ń sọ, wọ́n pé Ọ̀ṣọ́bà náà máa sọ̀rọ̀. And the rest, a mọ̀ pé Málà ni Emir kò ní sọ anything. And the other one, bí a ta bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà, òun á bá máa ṣe intervention. So that is how far I can go. Èmi náà ní láti lọ rest. It's been a long day already. Mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo kí Àlùkà ẹ kú iṣẹ́ takuntakun. Odò àgbéwà kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Mo kí bàbá wa Tóyìn. Olúnúgà. Ẹ ṣé gan ni ọjọ́ yẹn. These are my own network. Wọ́n mú torí network yẹn kí n bára mi jẹ́. Ṣé wọ́n máa bára ẹ jẹ́ tó bá pè wọ́n lórí network lọ́wọ́? Ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Ọ̀pọ̀. Ní London, ní Nàìjíríà, all over the world. Ṣáwọn òyìnbó dé. But bára wa jẹ́ nítorí pé tó bá yẹ kó mo ti bára mi jẹ́ ni. Mo ń sọ fún ìyàwó mi ní oríṣiríṣi rìsíìtì invoice wa máa fi sórí social media pé Koiki tó ti gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn. Wọ́n rí kankan mú jáde. Wọ́n rẹ́ ní tìmú jáde látọdún méjì láti wà nínú àjò. Kò tí ì sẹ́ni scandal. Wọ́n kàn fi bà orúkọ wa jẹ́ ojúkówó jẹ́ tó ìwọ ọmọ owó tí mo lè gbà lọ́wọ́ gọ́vnà bọ̀ tí bá ti ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn màmá aládìí wọn ni mo sọ́ọ̀rì. Tí bá ti ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ Sanusi gbogbo tí mò ń sọ ìmọ̀ nílé sọ. Tí bá ti ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ Ọ̀ṣọ́bà wọ́n sanwó fún mi fún project mo lọ ṣe fún Ọ̀ṣọ́bà yìí mo lè parọ́. I was paid because mo lọ bá wọn take pictures. Wọ́n dẹ̀ náà wọ́n fẹ́ pictures ẹ̀ níta, it was an exclusive. We share a lot of money just in a little bit. So this is why integrity yẹn ẹ lè beat it. Ẹni káwọn náà kó tiwọn jáde. "24 years nílùú kan òròpó easy tó bá yẹ pé mi náà fẹ́ ṣe bí wọ̀bìà èyí ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé mo kọ́lé ní Nàìjíríà èmi á ti gbalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ Akérédolú ni tí máa tún ní òun ló máa kọ́ wàláì. Imagine irú talent brain tí mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ brain power tí mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ kí wọ́n fi lo influence ẹ̀. Àwọn eléyìí wọ́n ọ̀gbọ́n gbogbo wọn wọ́n ṣe ń rí yẹn wọ́n ọ̀gbọ́n rárá wàláì. Mo sọ fún yín pé nígbà tí ìyàwó Abdulfatai, the former governor of Kwara State, tó wá sí London tí mo lọ bá bọ̀bọ̀ tí ó jẹ́ former mayor Brent òun ni ó ń bá kíní ṣiṣẹ́ nísìn òun ni chief secretary ìyẹn my uncle yẹn Councillor Ernest òun ló ń ṣe chief secretary ìkànnà governor ní South East mo rántí tó ń ṣe nínú wọn because I've seen him with them nígbà tó ìyàwó governor yín wá sí London ó ó pè mí ó ti fún mi ní heads up pé kí n jọ pé ó nídìí kí wọ́n ṣe special interview fún lọ́fíìsì òun ní Brent yẹn ló wà níwájú Wembley area ló ń pè ní Brent. Nígbà tí mo débẹ̀ do you meet Mr. Koiki kankan nítorí mọ̀ ẹ́ ó ṣàn sọ ìbọn pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ aṣáṣe interview yẹn take picture and all that. Nígbà tó wá fẹ́ máa lọ mo á rí pé wọ́n ń pe Uber ẹ̀rẹ̀ mọ́ àwọn nàpa pé ẹ̀ ní mọ́tò ni ó ní àní mọ́tò ó ní kò sí ẹni tó máa drive ẹ̀ ni ó ní àbẹ́ máa ráyè láti máa gbé wa tí bá ti wà ní London. Wàláì bó ṣe sọ fún mi nìyẹn. Ó ní àbẹ́ yẹn ní license because she lives there before kó tó di pé ọkọ̀ ẹ̀ jẹ́ governor tó fi lọ sí state but àwọn ọmọ wọn bíbá ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ó ní àwọn ọmọ yẹn ráyè láti máa gbé wa káàkiri. Ó ní bọ̀ tó bá yẹ pé mo ní time anytime táwọn bá wà ní London káwọn gbé mọ́tò yẹn fún mi kí n máa fi wá gbé àwọn kí n máa drive wọn kiri ní London. Imagine tó bá yẹ pé mo ti lọ accept irú kan bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá yẹ pé mo ṣe bí wọ̀bíà wúrú in as much as I was going to show people today something different I end up showing you more than what I was not going to show you ní broadcast bá ṣe láàárọ̀ ìfáwọn tó bá ti wo broadcast mo ṣe láàárọ̀ license mi wà ní bíbá ṣèbí ké àwọn ló máa ṣe insurance màá dẹ̀ máa gun BM wọn káàkiri tó bá dẹ̀ ti dé sí London màá lọ páàkì sí Heathrow màá bá wọn fa báàgì màá bá pa kódà á lè fẹ́ gbé báàgì lé mi lọ́wọ́ á rán mi níṣẹ́ tí ó lè fẹ́ ní kí n máa fọ pátá sínú ilé òun kí n máa bá wọn fọ pàǹtò òun that's what they will do wọ́n máa sọ̀yàn díwèrè and what kí ló máa ṣe so gbogbo eléyìí tí mo sọ yìí nísìnyí I will not be able to say it and I'm talking about bí ọ̀rọ̀ 3 years ago nìyẹn or bí 4 years ní tẹ̀rántí. Mo ní mo busy gan mo ní èmi náà pọ́nra mi lé mo ní mo busy gan mo ní náà mo busy. Tó bá jẹ́wọ́ ni kí ló rò kó tí gómìnà bá sọ fún mi pé kó máa bọ̀ níná Oǹdó lẹ́nu ìwọ tó wò mí tí ò ní lọ. That is why they've disrespected a lot of you because wọ́n value yín. But àwa gbéra wa nítorí pé inú owó lọ bí èmi náà sí kò ń ṣe pé mo fi ń dẹnu and we are always satisfied. So I pray that ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa nílé Ọlọ́run ọba Elédùmarè á bá wa wà pẹ̀lú yín títí tí ìrìn àjò yẹn máa fi dé ibi tá a fẹ́ kó dé. Diplomacy will continue. Àti sọ pé ní YSDM lórí platform wa a máa help wọn to continue to raise awareness especially for people to go and support not just support financially support subscribe síbẹ̀. I will do some programs around that in the next few days. This as far I can go. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Èmi ló kàn bàbá èmi ló kàn ṣe bàbá. Ṣé pàní máa dárúkọ sí bàbá àmọ́ báyìí? Ó dàbí àná ṣá. Kó tó lè kúrò lẹ́nu wa sí bàbá. So èmi ló kàn làwọn máa dárúkọ nísìnyí. Ó dà. I get used to that. Mo ní láti lọ wá picture Tinubu tí mo máa lò lẹ́yìn mi. Màá lọ wo Google. Màá decide picture tí a máa fi picture tó ń bá release fún presidency kọ́lá àwọn máa lò. Àwọn máa wá ìta àwọn máa lò. Ẹ rò pé ó ní tí mo máa ń lò fún ti Buhari sí bàbá. Ṣé bàbá ẹ jẹ́ gbé picture nǹkan tó máa lọ. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ó ní picture ṣé bàbá kan tí mo rí tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń lò. So mo gbọ́dọ̀ lọ wá ti mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n wa Peter George mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin èèyàn wa lọ́tùn lọ́sì. King of the North ní Buhari àìtí mọ̀ tá máa lò fún èmi ló kàn báyìí. Bí akadẹ̀sì kọ́kọ́ ní sùúrù ká wo ìgbésẹ̀ tó fi àwọn step tó fi gbé. Torí mo láwọn bad picture of Tinubu kan tí máa lọ gbé jáde fún ẹgbẹ́ pé wàá máa rí lójoojúmọ́ báyìí iná máa bí ẹ àkọ́ máa fọ́ fóònù ẹ nínú ilé ni kò sí tó kàn mí ẹ ti Buhari lélẹ̀. Sọ máa rò pé tí olójọ́ ọmọ Yorùbá sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú yẹn. Ẹ̀yin ni ẹ̀ ń kó wọn jẹ o èmi ò kọ́ anybody jẹ́nu gbogbo wọn aláì èmi tó mi jẹ o ìdúpẹ́ fọlọ́run kò pọ̀ lóòótọ́ but mo wà satisfied torí King of the North then your picture ilé kúrò cause ó ń block ẹ̀. Ṣẹ́yìn tiwa a ní jù bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ so that ká tún ní time láti gba calls ní àwọn tábà sí nínú program ilẹ̀ lọ ṣe àwọn nǹkan míì gbogbo ẹ̀ tó bá ní Koiki thank you so much details wà láti fi síta yẹn ẹ support wa mo ní mo fẹ́ ṣe fundraising fúnra mi I will still put that on hold for another few more days only reason but ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti support mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín but definitely I will let us know as quickly as possible when we are getting closer. Say Baba Lele. So ibi tá máa rí money yẹn for now but again bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ìyá mi Wúrà Adé Beauty King of the South so máa láti wá picture Tinubu náà ti máa design àdá Say Baba a máa miss Say Baba gan abẹ́ẹ̀ ni miss Say Baba Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀yà gbọ́n yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ká tó máa lọ wá sí ìfún rẹ̀.
Buhari ti sọ̀rọ̀ àti gbọ́. 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 Ó tún yá ṣe bàbá, ṣe Buhari, ṣe bàbá, ṣe Buhari, ṣe bàbá, ṣe Buhari.
Àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà ò ní gbàgbé Buhari láyé ẹ̀dá kan làwọn yẹn Ọlọ́run. Thank you so much everyone. Rugged man MF ó mà tójọ́ mẹ́ta my brother I'm sure you've been so busy with work. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí o ẹ jẹ́ ká máa play anthem ká máa lọ. Sọ̀rọ̀ kí èmi náà lọ bí tẹ̀sùn kí n wà lórí bed cause mo máa ń like afternoon sleep. Thank you so much, everyone. Waris Jinodo and the rest of you. Tibani time. You know, I always say that, but I never come back. I don't know why. So now I'm more do I know it. Benny, see you the other time. Keep notification here. You know, Koiki comes out anytime. Then I'm frequently. We are working on a lot of things to keep the platform running 24/7. At the old control during the campaign rally, thinking they will be good. Ooh, what a disappointment for 8 years. Bobby Moses in 2015 March, I went to meet Buhari and Yemi at the old control. Ìyàwó mi tó bá fẹ́ dá wà lálẹ́ nínú ilé. A ní ṣé bàbá, mo ní mo fẹ́ gbọ́ ṣé bàbá nínú ilé mọ́sẹ̀. Tó bá ti fẹ́ yọ mí lẹ́nu. A ní ṣé Buhari ṣé bàbá mo fẹ́ gbọ́ Buhari mọ́. Ṣé èyí tẹ́ ń support Tinubu ní London? Bára wa jà mo sọ pé àwọn kan wà ní barber shop wọ́n máa ń bínú sí Koiki ilé ń bínú sí mi fún bínú sí mi náà ìbámu Yorùbá kan náà ni gbogbo wa bí mi ṣe ń fẹ́ ó yàtọ̀ sí bí Tinubu ṣe fẹ́. Let's check out now. Thank you so much. I play anthem and we call it a day. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí from the Mixlr to the Instagram to the Twitter. Elédùmarè ọba àjọkẹ́ ayé àṣàkẹ́ ọ̀run tó ní wá tó dálẹ̀ Yorùbá tó mọ̀ pé ibi tá a wà kọ́ ló yẹ ká wà nísìn òun náà ló máa yanjú ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà nílẹ̀. Àwọn tó nílẹ̀ wọ́n ń bínú lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nígbà tí ìbínú wọn bá máa fi jáde akọjá bó ṣe yẹ. Buhari jìnnà dòjọ ó ju ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ méjì wá èmi náà jí padà. Akérédolú àkẹ́tì bàbá àgbàlagbà ẹ̀rí kó chọ́bì ní bíbá ẹ̀rí bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ṣe rí níbẹ̀ stature mi ò tẹ̀ change ẹ̀rí pàṣọ tí mo wọ̀ náà ni wọ́n sì ń wọ̀ kọ́lọ́ máa ń dúró tí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tó ń run the program. There's a lot of opportunity. Irú àwọ̀ lè wait. Wàláì London ti sú mi kò ń ṣe kékeré kí owó ẹ̀ tẹ̀ dàrú kátẹ̀ wàá dàrú mọ́sàlẹ̀ ẹ̀ will move on kó máa pariwo sí ẹ̀ o.
She má fojú kó eruku ata. Abẹ́ ń bẹ eruku ata tí ò sí fojú kó. Bàbá wà gbogbo Nàìjíríà. Bàbá fojú kó ata ẹ lójú.
Ọmọ Oòduà. Ọ̀gá Fúlàní ló jẹ́ o. Yorùbá nation yìí ti gbogbo wa ni. Kó má gbọ́dọ̀ bàjẹ́. Torí kò sílùú mìíràn.
Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful. Life is so funny. You come with nothing, then fight for everything, and later leave everything and go back with empty hand. God is powerful.
We are bringing the word closer to your doorstep, and that is how far we can take it this afternoon. And it will be very long. Whatever. Bye for now.